last time, let's see. Katraka, you were the scribe. I believe Anna Kate, you would be in the rotation this week. Are you okay doing
Yep,
it?
that sounds about right. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So Katraka, do you want to give us a quick recap of last time on the tribe?
I will try. What I wrote was real long. I will make sure to spend more time editing it next time I journal.
All right.
So the session started at night. We were like about to go to bed. We were in the castle of Queen Dinara, and really we were actually in the library with Charon, who's sort of part of her faction but kind of not. Anyway, we go to bed. But then we get awoken because somebody sent a sending to read, and it turned out to be a Kami, who is the Asmira mage, and she told us that Asmira guards were under attack in the marketplace. Hold on, sorry, sneezing.
Bless
And we, we're asked to intervene, and we're like, okay, great, we'll intervene. But by the time we get there, it was too late. The Asmira guards are all dead. There's like 8 of them, like a whole, not all the Asmira guards, but like this squad of them was all dead. And at first, we get there, we see these sword wraiths there, and we're like, wait, are the sword wraiths the ones who did it? They were not running away or anything, and they actually were also just responding to the emergency. And we kind of examined the bodies, and the bodies had like bite marks, and we're like, okay, well, that probably means vampires. But something is a little off, because the vampire tracks would be like human-sized. But we found tracks that were more consistent with elven feet. As Mira and her bodyguard come, and we talk a little bit more about what's due, the tracks lead in multiple directions. We end up heading following one set of tracks, while Kami and her bodyguard examine the other direction. We follow the larger group. We follow the footprints west, across a bridge. And then at the western end of the bridge, the footprints split again, with 2 of them going south and like 5 people going north. So we go after the larger, more dangerous group, who walk straight into an ambush. We're in a little bit of a tough situation at first, but we actually take them out. We have some good, rallying that happens from spellcasting and well-placed arrows and such. And in the end, we actually kill 4 of them and capture their wizard. Now, these people who ambushed us were in fact Shadar Kai, dark shadow fae realm thing, elves kind of. So we have this prisoner, and we've successfully fought off this ambush, and now we're in an area that Shadow Strider says is near a door into darkness. And Shadow Strider seems to want the door to be open, but the exact meaning is a little bit obscure. We kind of debate the whole situation a little bit, decide, no, we're definitely not going to even think about going into the Shadowfell right now. We're not ready for that. So we tie the prisoner to a tensor's floating disc. We go back and try to follow the other set of tracks. It kind of turns out to be like a big loop. And there's another question that's sort of unanswered, which is, it seems like the other pair of Shadar Kai that we were tracking may have been overlooking the battle we already fought. Did they allow us to slaughter their friends without intervening? Did they come at a different time? We just don't really know. But their trail simply ends at a certain point, which makes us think that they just returned to the Shadowfell. So that was like a long nighttime trip. And at this point, we're all real tired, want to get back to sleep. So we go, instead of going back to the Sword Wraith Castle, we go to the Asmira camp. Go to sleep there, trusting in Malastray, who is an advisor and a former Crimson Dagger guy. We trust him to sort of handle the prisoner, and we just go, finish getting enough sleep. In the morning, we talk to Kami, who is hanging out with Azali's Avengers, another adventuring party. We hang out with them for a while. We kind of warn them about what's going on, and then they leave, and we head to the basement where Malastray is talking to the Shadar Kai wizard. The Shadar Kai wizard is not a good liar, but
Stonewall's pretty hard.
But yeah, he's like we can tell he's lying, but he's not also like not really telling us anything. He doesn't, he's like, oh, I don't know about any 2 others who went south. He claims like, oh, we just, everything that happened is just a misunderstanding, and he claims that his band of Shadar Kai are actually enemies of the Shadowlord. All things that seem to be like very obvious lies, but we don't really have any like actual sense of, any truth. And it also leads to questions about whether the summit, which is taking place in the afternoon of this day, is going to, suffer some sort of other attack or whatever. So it seems like the stakes have been raised, but we don't really know what to we don't really have any actionable intelligence so far.
All right, thank you for that recap. So it is the tribe session 100, 10 a.m., 2 hours until the summit meeting. You're still in the prison. What does the group want to do?
Wait, hey, we can't just blow past that this is session 100. This is our centennial session.
It's true.
That's crazy.
100 weeks.
Is there like a commemorative cup or a badge or something?
I think so, yeah.
I should have baked Lou a cake.
You get the
Yeah,
the
should've
nerd
been
award.
The players that have been here for all 100 sessions get an extra inspiration point.
Has anyone been here for all 100 sessions?
Just me.
Well, you missed some. I'm sorry, you missed some
as a
sessions.
joke.
Fair enough.
Wait, do you have completely different characters than from the start? Of this
No.
Party of Theseus.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
no,
yeah,
think,
most of the characters,
Well,
yeah.
Anna Kate, were you the same character when you started?
I was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But I didn't start on day one though. I came in
Beryl
after
did.
months. Yeah.
Beryl was
I think
here for session 1.
Beryl and Reed.
Beryl is the heart.
I don't
No,
know.
Reed
Beryl
was-
and Reed were there before me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was-
Yeah, I don't think Reed was there from the start. I think Beryl is the only.
But he's
original.
been with us since, like, we were working on the Char storyline, like, pretty early on,
Yeah,
right?
no, he did come in fairly early. I just don't think he came in at the beginning.
Yeah.
3rd or 4th level, I think.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, we were 6th level when I came.
I think he came in during the fight with the Iron Tide.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, we're on session 100. I think there's one other group that's on session 100 as well. And that's the Tuesday group.
But we're your favorites.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
This is being streamed right now, right?
This is what?
Being streamed right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have evidence that we're your favorite. Got it.
Your sarcastic yeah is now on record. Great.
It's clipped. The internet will always know my sarcastic yeah. But yes, we are on session 100. I didn't bake a cake, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm sure we can still just party in the game
Oh yeah.
with our 100 session achievement. So yeah, what do you all want to do?
Should we continue with the interrogation, or should we let him stew for a while?
Go ahead.
Letting him wait is potentially dangerous. I would prefer to press as quickly as we can, although I do not know what we can do to convince him to speak.
Honestly, breaking the session in kind of the mid-interrogation, kind of as a player, I don't really remember the track we were on or the answers we've gotten too much and the questions we've asked, and it makes it hard to know if we should...
Look at my written summary. I didn't say it in my summary. Look at the journal. I actually wrote everything down in great
Oh,
detail.
perfect. Okay, cool. Not that Beryl's going to be strategic anyway, but I was like, I'm not even sure what we need to try and still ask them or get from them, you know? Or him.
Yeah, you didn't really get much from him. He's been pretty dodgy. And it's obvious he's lying, but unless you're... It's unsure, or I don't know. I'm not sure how you all want to go about trying to get better information out of them.
Okay,
I feel like we had... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna pull Katraka aside, like, you know, kind of out of the hearing range, kind of whisper, and be like, so, have we tried, you know, obviously this guy seems like a slime ball, have we tried, like, bribing him yet?
You know, that's really interesting. That
That's pale coin.
well, this is just us talking. I say,
Oh.
I don't. Yes, I do kind of look over at Beryl though when you ask me this. Sorry, this is Terrace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I don't really see anything wrong with paying him for information, but I think, well, Beryl really is the one who controls the purse strings around here. I'm afraid I don't have that much money of my own. I think the main other thing that I want to know is whether more Shadar Kai are likely to come, whether they're likely to mount a rescue mission against, to try to get this guy back, things like that. So I think if we can maybe combine those two efforts, let's pull everyone else out of the room. They're not making any progress anyway, and let us strategize.
Yeah.
I like your idea.
All right, so you're gonna leave the prison for now and talk.
I sort of gesture to everybody. I'm like, let us take a break. It does not seem we're making any forward progress. Let us reconvene in a moment.
The guard nods and just escorts you out.
So
And
once we're
Dragon follow.
all assembled in the hallway outside, I nod to Terrace, and I'm like, "Tell them what you told me."
So, how realistic do you think it would be for this prisoner to be susceptible to a bribe, perhaps?
I do not deem it likely. The Shadar we have spoken to, or the ones I have spoken to, they worship Shadowlord as god and is foundation of much of their culture. I would expect bribery would not work, partly because they might be fanatical, partly because cost of betraying your god is perhaps rather high in Shadowfell.
All right then. Maybe what we should do is just focus on the most important thing we need to know.
I think problem is there is little we can do to. Well, we have. If we are concerned about summit today, it takes time to establish rapport, to establish kind of relationship that would allow exchange of information. And in absence of time, I do not know what leverage we have to frighten him.
Is there any way we could sort of pretend to let him go, but somehow track his movements?
It might work. Very dangerous, but that might work.
I think you're right,
Interesting.
Sam, that there isn't enough time to, really come to an understanding with this individual, unfortunately. Maybe we just, if we could deceive him in some way, that might be more likely to be successful. Essentially tell him, that we don't see any reason to hold him any longer, and invite him to return to the Shadowfell, but somehow follow him.
What about just like a charm person kind of a thing? Or I guess he is an elf, so he would be difficult to.
Not last long, methinks. Such charmy magic.
Yeah, you know that. Zone of nature.
Yes.
So you would probably know that. Give me a nature roll.
My sheet wasn't open. Hang on. I don't know if I'm the only one with nature. She's trained, but she doesn't have a big modifier.
I think 23 will do.
Oh, wow.
So you know that elves are resistant to charm, but not immune to it. They're only immune to sleep.
All right, I think that's why we were saying that it would be a challenge to charm an elf.
Yeah. But it can be done.
And besides, we have a couple elves in our party, so. Sim's an elf, aren't you?
Half elf.
Half elf, okay, yeah.
But
And
I
Reed's-
have resistance to charm, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Beryl thinks if Tribe not sure what to do with lead with Malistray, maybe Malistray make more progress in coming days.
It is true. If we cannot more actively find out what it is they have planned, perhaps best to ensure we are at summit to intercept anything they may try.
Is maybe possible to ask Elf Prisoner about family and appeal to, I guess, maybe if Tribe let Elf go back to Shadowfell, maybe willing to help Tribe find missing Tribe members or something such. But same as bribe, if Elf Prisoner follows Shadowlord for loyalty to Shadowlord, then not likely to have sympathy for Tribe friends and Tribe family any more than want gold.
I'm fine with leaving him here with Malistray. But
Yeah,
what
maybe
Beryl
not.
just said is really the reason why I think we should just let him go with no strings attached, or at least pretend there are no strings attached. Don't say that we're hoping for a return favor later. Don't do anything. Just let him go and see if we can track him. But let's do that in a few days. Give Malistray some more time to see if he can, establish a relationship with him and figure out what he actually does know. And in the meantime, we can scope out where the meeting is taking place and prevent any further carnage, hopefully.
Let us hope. This is all much gentler than what I would have suggested, but perhaps more effective. So,
Tribe are good guys.
yeah, if you wish.
Mostly.
So what do you want to do?
I would say head to the former Temple of Morden.
Yeah, just let Malistray know
Yeah.
that like we're kind of giving up on this right now,
Yeah.
and then head to the temple.
Alright, Malistray nods. He says, I'll see if I can figure anything out. But he should be secure.
Most important for Tribe is to know how Tribe maybe find lost Tribe friends, if any questions lead to information on how to get to Shadowfell or any information of prisoners taken back to Shadowfell.
Well, as I said, he'll be secure here, and I'll see what I can pry from him. But I'll see you all at the summit in a few hours. I'll let you know if I've had any progress.
You have my thanks.
Alright,
Well,
so
in that case, farewell.
so you're heading over to the temple?
Yeah.
Alright.
I guess it's not really a cathedral anymore. It's like the Warforged fortress.
Yeah, it's more of a forge and a fortress area now.
They're mostly below ground, though, right? Like, I mean, I know that they occupy the above ground structure as well, but do they actually have like
They have,
forges and things set up there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They made the cathedral into a makeshift large forge area. So
It's
they've
a-
converted it.
Temple to craftsmanship, and it's basically a workshop temple.
Yep.
Sort of, yeah. It still has the architecture of a cathedral, but it's now full of forges and, crafting places. So
Is there any sign that Elodie has restored the myth? Or has it not happened yet?
it has not happened yet. It's still light.
Oh
I
man,
don't think you've spoken to her since she did that, did you?
Yeah, we have.
we did. We talked to her about rescinding her pulling away the mists, and she said that she would at least do it,
Yeah,
on the day
for-
of the summit, so the vampires could show up without having to go underground.
So no, it doesn't look like it has happened yet.
She's cutting it close, not giving them that much time. Okay.
Is there anything you want to do for these 2 hours before the summit?
Mutter about the sunlight, apparently.
I
I
just
forgot
wanna-
that it was bright again.
I want to do a walk, just, walk a big circle around relevant places just to see how the approaches to the cathedral are.
Well,
A, how they're defended by the Warforged, and B, like, just whether there's anything out of place or noteworthy.
The cathedral is pretty secure. They have Warforged sentries all over, keeping an eye out. And it's also pretty open in the area around the cathedral, so it'd be hard to sneak people in. Give me, I guess, a perception check.
Sure. Never hurts.
So yeah, you think it's pretty secure.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, a large group of enemies could show up, but you don't think they're sneaking in.
Okay. And
right before the we have the big summit, I would like to cast like True Seeing on myself for an hour.
Okay.
Yes, and Beryl will put enhance ability on Reed or Katraka or whomever we think will do the most talking for Tribe.
Oh, not me. I'm too new to all this.
Well, I was thinking of charisma-based characters, but I'm not sure who has the best there. Or actually, I guess, Sim, you do a lot of talking, don't you? I apologize.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I'm not sure who's like the strong charisma score.
Right.
It was, yeah.
I
I
think
think Reed probably has the best score, but
So we should decide kind of in advance and kind of make sure that we're kind of using a spokesman to kind of present a united front, maybe.
Yep.
Well, who do you think you're going to cast it on?
Sim's always been more of a spokesman than I have been.
all right. I've definitely got an agenda though, so
It's true.
Yeah.
Sim has a bit of an agenda. But
Well, if Reed suggests putting it on Sim, then Beryl would definitely go ahead and follow
Alright.
through with Reed's suggestion. She would not think that through very much.
and when are you casting
yeah.
this?
Just before, like when we have a chance to do it, like I don't want to do it blatantly in front of the other people arriving, but it would be before the official proceedings commence, close as possible before that. So I put enhance ability, and it would be,
oh, yeah.
Eagle Splendor. Yeah, Eagle Splendor.
So you're trying to do it secretly?
Yeah, like when people are milling about, I would take a moment where I can like put my back toward people or something, so no one really sees what I'm doing. I'm not doing this in the presence of others. I'm assuming this is a great big cathedral. People are, starting to arrive. They're taking their seats. I'm not doing it over there like at the conference table or in front of the groups as they greet us or anything like that. At some point where I can, face a wall in a
So,
corner or something, and
Magic,
or our group is huddled up or something.
Magic does make some pretty noticeable things happen when you use it. So where exactly are you going to be when you cast the spell? Because
I will ask Sim to step into a alcove or something. What are the little alcoves called in cathedrals? There's a architectural name for them. One of those niches.
Yeah.
So I will ask
I have
him
a
to
map
step
of the
into one of
place.
those real quick. Yeah.
And just kind of give me an idea of where you guys are going to try to cast the spell.
Are these all doors?
So there are windows. The main
windows.
doors are over here.
Right.
The door to the downstairs is over here. You haven't been in this area, I don't think, the back area. You never explored back
Yeah,
there.
we have. The
Oh, maybe it's just
storage
not
rooms
mapped
and
for
stuff,
me.
weren't they?
Alright.
You've changed the map since we first did it, but it was just like little storage rooms and maybe like old dormitories or something. Not.
So it's
yeah.
kind of like the rectory where there's a bunch of living spaces, storage rooms. I wasn't sure if you had gone back there.
How about this? I didn't want to take a ton of time with this. I just kind of wanted to, choose what makes sense for the group. We headed over to the cathedral 2 or 3 hours before the summit, so we got plenty of time to plan this. I would.
Oh yeah, no,
The Warforged.
you have plenty of time.
Yeah, so I would make sure it's okay with the Warforged. Ask if it's okay that we step into one of those like old storage rooms, or if there's a place that like the tribe could consult privately throughout the proceedings today. Just like get permission to step into an innocuous room, and then closer to when the proceedings are about to begin, I will ask Sim to step into that room real quick with me. I'll cast a spell, and then we'll come back out.
Yeah, sure. Give me a persuasion check.
Sim, you talk to them.
Sure. Always happy to talk. I'm probably convinced them it's a good idea for. Oh, harsh.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Ouch.
That is harsh.
So,
Oh my God.
so the Warforged are a little confused on this custom of having to step into a random room right before the proceedings. They would, well, I mean, I guess the tribe is kind of allied with them. Sure, yeah, they'll let you into a back room. I'll give you advantage on the 9, so I'll give you the 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we've used up our bad rolls for the summit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out now.
All right, so Eagle Splendor just before the proceedings start for 1 hour.
Alright, any other preparation that's being done? You said, Reed, you were casting something?
Yeah, True Seeing.
Alright, go ahead and link it and spend the spell slot. I think it'll do it automatically.
I think it's my once a day thing.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just link it then.
Is there a mirror somewhere around?
Okay. So you spend the 25 gold pieces?
Yeah, I have the ingredients.
Okay. Yeah, so you go back. Are you gonna do that out in front of everyone?
No,
Or are you
I don't.
also gonna use like the little magic
Powder room.
prep?
Yeah.
the
The
magic,
tribe green room.
the magic green room where everyone
I'll
puts
ask-
on their buff secretly.
I'll ask to use the facilities. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sure. So you step back there. Anyone else doing anything before they get things started?
Yeah.
I-
Oh, go ahead.
You go.
Okay, I was just gonna say, is there a mirror anywhere?
Probably not. At this point, most of these rooms are just forge areas. I mean, the Warforged don't really need mirrors for the most part.
I need to get my hands on one of those. All right.
Farrell has mirror. Little mirror.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
She'll dig it out of her little pack and hand you a tiny, I think it's steel, little
You-
steel mirror.
Are you in the magic
Then-
green room right now?
No, I'm not.
Wherever he brings it up is where she pulls it out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spend the 2 hours just making sure I look nice before fixing my hair.
Alright.
It was a component.
Brushing your hair.
I love it.
Looking sharp.
Hey.
Alright.
So I basically gave you a compact.
Farrell, can I keep this?
Okay.
Thank
Farrell
you so
doesn't use much. It's just the standard adventuring gear steel mirror.
Yeah.
This means so much to me. Thank you.
I intended to use it for like sunlight signaling or something. Is why she has it in her pack. She just never has.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I'll definitely be using it for that. Yeah.
Or good use of a mirror is to try to fight things where you have to avert your gaze,
Mm.
which
Um,
does come up. Yeah, so is someone else doing something?
The only relevant thing is in my ambling around time, I just want to take note if anyone's arriving early, and the order they arrive in. But that's all. And I'll keep an eye out for when or if Elodie restores the mists, because I'd like to know the timing.
So about an hour before the conference, the mists would come back into being. Actually, right around the time Elodie arrives, and she does arrive fairly early, you would see the undead army is also in the area, and the Warforged are very uncomfortable with that, but they've been told not to attack, so they just remain neutral.
Do they stay a respectful distance, or are they being like real, like kind of provocative, like getting real close?
They're probably about 50 feet away. So I mean,
That's not that far, yeah.
they're pretty close, but they're not they're not really doing much. They're just standing there.
Okay.
So they seem to be tame, at least for now.
Does she still have the weird glowy amulet thing going on? I don't know if it was an amulet, but last time we saw her, she had some weird glowing artifact strapped to her somewhere.
Did one of us
Um,
cast detect magic or something?
No, but it was like glowing and doing weird
Oh.
stuff.
I forgot about that.
No, at this point, there's nothing obviously magical on her.
Cool.
It looks like she's changed up her garbs a bit. She has some new robes and some other pieces of jewelry she didn't have before. You'd be a little curious where she got those. You know, she was down below helping fight the Alhoun, so maybe she got some treasure.
Cool.
But she would arrive. She would give a polite nod to the group, maybe come over and greet you, and say, "It's been a while. Have you all been well?"
Remind me who this is.
This is our friend Elodie. I believe you have not met. We have some new companions with us.
She says, "I see that. Well
And,
met, new companions."
Hello.
She would look to everyone and say, "As you can see, I've restored the mists as agreed."
And for
But-
that, you have our thanks.
Errol feels much better now.
As much as I don't trust those vampires, a deal is a deal. I still think it's a mistake to let them live.
Some people say same of ghouls.
Because yes, the ghouls are under control, the vampires are not.
Yes, well, that may be settled one way or another, to perhaps even to your satisfaction at Summit. That is sort of whole point.
She nods. She says, "Do you think if they decide to attack the summit, we'll have enough forces to fight them off?"
I am confident. If they should breach this truce, I believe everybody here has agreed to join forces against, and formidable though they may be, vampire strength is not in direct confrontation.
And this is why Tribe helped Elodie
Just-
get ghoul control anyway, so ghouls can be used maybe for good in case more violence here.
Well,
But just as a failsafe, Elodie, how long does it take you to perform the ritual to remove the clouds?
well, I can't do it from in here. I had to do it before I came.
Well, I'm saying if you needed to flee to the location where you can do it, how much time would we have to give you?
She says, "Well, you all remember where my lair was. I would have to go back there. It would probably be at least an hour.
Oh,
You have to run through the
Okay.
city, which would be, well, actually, it wouldn't be that dangerous for me because I'd have an army of ghouls to defend me. But if they did attack us while we were in here, it would take the ghouls a little while to come inside. And I've been told to keep them at bay, so I don't know if that would be the best to bring them in to help."
I am not concerned. Vampires we can fight if we must.
Is it true what I heard that there might be another danger to this summit?
There certainly is. But whether that will materialize in a direct confrontation today, unclear. But it seems Shadowlord is sending Shadarkai back into the city.
Now, I thought you all killed the Shadowlord, or was destroyed. What did-
You of all people should know that is not as simple as all that, especially for beings of sufficient power.
She nods. She says, "I didn't know much about the Shadowlord, only that, from what I've read, their masteries of necromancy and necrotic energies are impressive. I guess
Well,
they're the
very
ones
good.
that
Chiron says-
created my army."
Chiron says bodies Shadow Lords walked in here on Gaian destroyed, but Shadow Lords weakened and returned elsewhere and can maybe take bodies again or influence things in other ways.
And even if he is dead, that is not. He had significant following over in Shadowfell, and it seems they are moving again. They have
Says,
not
well-
abandoned interest in city.
Honestly, I'm not even sure why I'm here other than to once again assure everyone that I won't attack the city. I have no interest in the political future of Issac.
No interest. I think it is inevitable now that you have some interest. If you wishing to be left alone and to have space to work and live, that is now a political issue because imperial forces have decided to try to claim whole city.
Well,
Now everything is a negotiation.
Says, well, I don't know how long I'll stay here other than to do my studies, but I don't suspect those studies will interfere with what the families are trying to do.
Well, if that is the case, then perhaps there is very little issue, and you may, if you wish, after settling this, depart or watch for your entertainment as you please.
Yeah, it's most likely what will happen. Well, I'm going to take a seat. I'll see you all in an hour or so when this starts.
I look forward to it.
And until then,
Alright, so she would sit down about... I'll say about 45 minutes in, you would see a familiar warforged enter the cathedral.
Nimble. Oh, Dinara.
Yep.
Sorry. I was thinking that the Warforged that we know the best is Nimble, but now I remember, oh yeah, Dinara is a Warforged now.
Yeah. She has several of her sword wraiths with her who seem annoyed by the renewed... oh wait, no, the sun was taken out, never mind. So she has several of her sword wraiths with her who accompany her. You actually are maybe a bit surprised by how much reverence the Warforged here pay her, as they are actually bowing to her as she walks in. She walks over to the back, doesn't come over to the group, but does give you a polite bow, and stands back there as if she's waiting for someone, kind of back behind the altar area here.
Right, looks like Dinara and Demi may be making united front.
It is no less than expected, and I think favorable for us.
And sure enough, a little while later, several Warforged walk out from below. Though not Demi in the form you're used to seeing her.
What? Sorry, who's Demi?
Demi Prime is the God Queen, sort of the
leader of the Warforged. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
Demi,
Dinara was undead leader of the Sword Wraiths. Now she's Warforged undead leader of the Sword Wraiths.
Yeah.
So Demi would nod to the group and say, "Hello again, tribe. It's good to see you here." And just continue walking past. She walks up to Queen Dinara, and they bow and start speaking to each other in low tones. Group want to do anything, or just keep waiting?
I'll wave.
Yeah, Farrell's probably waving very like a child, like who recognizes someone across the room. Just to everyone who kind of greets us.
Yeah, everyone definitely knows you. You've so far been greeted or acknowledged by everyone. The next to arrive is Arella with Malistray close at hand. Of course, they both nod to the group as they walk over and have a seat. And I think the last to arrive are going to be the Esmira. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anyone.
The vampire?
Oh,
The vampire's gonna skip out? Oh man. Or are they just gonna show up fashionably late?
Make an entrance.
Bakor arrives with his entourage. You see he has Jazik and Kami with him. They walk over and as well give the tribe a hearty salute of respect. Running out of places for all these pictures. Anyone doing anything? So you were just waiting, right? Alright, and finally, right towards the end, you would see Cal Meng arrive. He actually would walk towards the party. He has kind of an annoyed look on his face. And Says blasted necromancer waits to the last minute. Where is Mei Jun? I've not heard from him.
It is
Not heard from him either.
our regret to inform you that he is lost. Perhaps forever, although I would not count on it for a man such as he.
Lost? What do you mean?
He saw fit to desecrate the shrine to Orcus, and Orcus took offense.
Is he dead?
He might be, but all I know is that he vanished somewhere along with dissipating energies from shrine. If Orcus saw fit to attempt to punish him in some way, or if it was simply residual magics, it is unclear. I do not believe him to be dead, but of course, lost in dangerous surroundings, I do not know what has come of him. I would not bet against him, but method of finding him difficult.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
He seems upset but nods and says, well, I just hope he's alright wherever he is. We're going to have to do this without him. I appreciate you and your group figuring out who the attackers were of that guard patrol. I know all of the factions were looking to blame my people, but I have honored our agreement and we have not attacked any of the living.
It is true. I must confess I was surprised, to be honest, but yes, your keeping to the agreement is greatly appreciated on our part as well.
Yes. Do you know why? Do you know why some Shadowcry might want to frame you? They were very deliberately trying to get people to look at vampires.
It is most likely most expedient path to disrupting Summit. I can only suspect they do not want a stable government of the city to arise.
Yes, I imagine to sow chaos, though I don't know why they're still interested in this place. Their god lord has been defeated.
They also might have taken some personal offense, since, after all, you had some dealings with Malik.
This is personal offense. We were slaves to him. If anything, it is us who should take personal offense. We escaped his clutches.
I did not say it is reasonable, but to have escaped his clutches is a crime against their god or whatever, perhaps.
Well, they best not show their faces again, or we'll all find out what elven blood tastes like.
That is disgusting, but understood.
He nods, or he motions to his people who follow him to have a seat.
How many people did he bring?
He brought like his whole gang. There's like 10 of them there.
Okay. And that's basically, as far as the numbers we've seen when Mei Jun was treating with him, like, do we think that this is all of the vampires? Or
well, you actually hadn't seen their lair, so you don't know what kind of numbers they had.
I thought Mei
That
Jun
sounds
had
like about the
vampires.
number he described of people originally turned by Malik's experiments. I don't know how many thralls or subordinate vampires they've made since then at all. I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have their lair somewhere within the Undercaves, but none of you have been there. I think only Mei Jun ever went to visit them.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so the summit is starting as everyone starts to introduce themselves. You have your spells up. Is there anything you want to say as things are kicking off, or do you want to just kind of wait and see what happens?
I want to at least wait to see what the first thing everyone wants to bring up is, or bring to the table is. I definitely would insert myself if there are... if no one's saying anything, or no one has an agenda to give structure to this yet.
Who's kind of leading the talks, or emceeing, or proctoring?
It seems that Demi is sort of the one standing behind the altar, as this is kind of her place. With Queen Dinara close by, but also standing off to the side. So basically, Demi is kind of behind the altar, and the other parties are kind of in a line on both sides of the altar. you gonna start chanting?
No,
Because you
no.
know
As much as I
prestidigitation.
want to,
Yeah.
I am giving her the stink eye.
All right. You make angry faces at Elodie.
Yeah.
But yeah, they start talking. They are going right to the topic of land grants and who gets what. And right away, there is a pretty big argument between Dinara and the Asmira, as Dinara is arguing pretty fiercely to keep her keep, and the Asmira are arguing for getting the keep, for establishing a new seat of power. Their argument is kind of that if the city is to be a new and respected part of the empire, they need to be at the seat of power within the keep. And her argument is that it belongs to her family, the former nobles who were turned by the darkness, and they technically should still hold on to their ancestral house because she still lives. So they're arguing pretty fervently back and forth. Maybe a little bit of anger is starting to develop between the two.
Okay. If they look like they're not making progress and they're just butting heads, I would probably insert myself here and say, if I may offer a suggestion of sorts.
Okay, yeah, they would look over. And Demi says, yes, the tribe, of course, friends to all of us. I assume you have some wisdom to offer here.
Wisdom perhaps not, but I hear argument that that Dinara wishes to keep family seat, and the Imperials have concern to hold sight of strategic importance in city. But though it is significant, the keep is only small part of what has already been discussed today with grants of land for this or that. And honestly, traveling about the city, you will see, though much of it is in good condition and there is material to be had, it is also true that to truly reclaim Isik, much of it will have to be rebuilt or repurposed, and perhaps fundamental layout of city even change as population grows. So why not simply acknowledge that city must grow and change and build a new center of city? Certainly, strategic or symbolic importance can be accomplished without claiming keep. If so much of city is already to be rebuilt, simply also build another place from which to rule city, and Dainara may hold on to what is reclaimed of keep to govern that which is her inheritance.
Give me a persuasion check. You will have advantage because of your spell.
Yeah. Oof.
So Bakor does not seem to like this. He gives you a bit of a look as if he's kind of saying, like, maybe surprised that you're speaking against him, and he would say, there's nothing to be gained from building a second point of power. The ancestral ruling place of the city should be respected by the new rulers, which is why it should go to my family.
Dragon not respect ancestral home, make much damage, much to build even now, and keep walls broken down, towers knocked down.
Says yes, but not to the point where it's not the recognizable center of the city. And Dinara would say, I agree with the tribe. There can be other buildings built. I feel it is an insult to kick me from my home. And he says, can you not just inhabit the tunnels underneath as you've been doing, as your seat of power from below?
I intervene and just whisper in, like, I sort of get up from where I'm sitting and I run over, but I don't want to say something both of them can hear. I'm like, Queen Dinara, if I might have a word for a second, like leaving what that guy just said lingering in the air.
Are you trying to pull her aside?
I just so I can like whisper in her ear.
Sure. What are you gonna whisper to her?
I say he doesn't care about the symbolism. He cares about the cost. Do you think you could offer to help, help him out financially with building this new keep? And maybe we can rally some of the other factions to do the same. And then I just let that sit, and then I step back.
All right. Is anyone else saying anything?
No.
Okay. Well, so they continue to butt heads a little. Dinara, you don't know how much money or riches she has at this point.
I don't.
Her home has kind of been decimated, so you don't imagine she has much in the way of finances. But he says there's no sense in having two large keeps within the city. If you wish another place, we can have something built for you, but another keep is just it's not it wouldn't make any sense. He says, I feel like we had an agreement that you would let the living come and rebuild the city for the Empire, and it kind of feels like you're stepping back on that agreement. Is anyone saying anything?
For the living to rebuild,
There's just so much real estate underneath the city that maybe if the living could live in the sunlight and Queen Dinara could take her court into the many, many miles of caverns beneath the city, I don't see why we can't.
that is perhaps part of my concern here. You truly... My Lord of Azmira, you say you truly do not see purpose of a second defensible structure in city, and yet you ask Dinara Sword Queen, and you make mention of the fact of her long residence in extensive tunnels below city. There have been many things that have centuries to invest the ground beneath the city, and would you really truly place single place of most defensible strategic structure to hold city atop such tunnels? Seems better to have new foundation, perhaps.
Well, that could be possible to collapse some of those tunnels, but it also makes the case to have some kind of defense force down there. And the sword wraiths would be a great deterrent to anyone trying to come up from below. And actually, I need a check from Reed, because you were kind of trying to convince Dinara there, I assume.
Sure.
So I need a persuasion check.
Okay.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh.
Ew.
So Dinara definitely considers that. She didn't seem to get too upset. She would seem hesitant, though, and say, I feel like I've spent so much time in the tunnels already. I was looking forward to be able to reclaim my birthplace once it was rebuilt. And Bakor says, I'm not saying you can't come into the keep. As an ally of the city, you and your people would be welcome there. In fact, your military prowess could come in handy in defense and upkeep of the city, but the ruler of the city should be the one who I don't know if I should say owns, but inhabits and kind of resides over the keep. And that should be... Or go ahead.
When he says that, I'm like, wait, perhaps that's the solution then. You wish to reside in the keep because of its symbolic importance, but you just said you don't feel like you have to own it. So perhaps you could become a formal guest of the family of Dinara and she can inhabit the keep, and you can inhabit the keep as well as its titular head, but you don't take possession of the keep.
You're saying this to Dinara?
I'm saying this to both of them. I'm like, that's the you just said, sir. I believe that may be the solution to this dilemma.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh no.
Oh, you know what? I'll spend a point of inspiration so I get the higher roll.
So you would have to do that before you rolled.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So
I still think it's a reasonable argument. I mean, I think I could lobby for advantage just because it's an actually reasonable argument.
So she seems a little hesitant. She says, is there something that I would be getting in exchange for giving up my ancestral home, the home that my family once ruled over?
Well, the point of what I'm saying is that you're not giving it up, that you would still live there.
Right, you would still own it.
He just said he was amenable to that.
He says, I would be amenable to her residing there.
Exactly.
Not necessarily owning the keep. I believe that the seating...
But now you contradict yourself, sir.
Give me a persuasion
I mean,
check.
he did contradict himself. He said, I don't necessarily have to
he
own
might not necessarily like you saying that.
No, that's fine. All right, this time I'll spend a point of inspiration so I can get a roll, hopefully. No.
So he says, So he says, perhaps you didn't understand me then. I meant that she and her people would be welcome to reside there, not that they would own the keep. Says the rulers, well, I guess it would depend on what would be involved in ownership of said keep. And she says,
Would
or go ahead.
It is true. Empire is empire after all.
If the monks in my monastery are firm believers that no one really owns anything. Why is it so important that any party own this keep as long as you are all able to use it?
Hippie alert. All right.
I can't help the way I was raised.
Give me a persuasion. I'll give you.
I am not the one that needs to be making persuasion checks.
I'll give you advantage on that one though.
I don't know that it's going to matter. Oh, hey.
Yeah. They're both kind of being swayed by these arguments. He's kind of considering more. He would say, go ahead.
After all, the Imperium is in fact an empire, not a conquering kingdom. It was not. It is collection of sovereign states ruled by empire and united in purpose. It is not uncommon, I believe, for imperial governorship to settle on what is more or less sovereign state, and that is similar to what we have here. Questions of ownership less important than question of who governs and which rights and responsibilities fall to everybody. And it seems not unreasonable for human governorship of Isik to rule from Keep, and for the long-held dynastic residents to serve as protectors of castle and grounds.
Alright, give me a persuasion check. So, yeah, Bakor would look to her and say, I suppose it wouldn't be completely improper for your family to keep possession as long as you respect the Empire families as the sovereign rulers of the city. And would you be willing to help us to keep order within the city using your quite formidable sword wraith armies? And she says, we were planning to stay here anyway, so I don't see how that would hurt. And Arella would actually rise at this point and say, on that note, I wanted to speak more of this this claim of who is going to rule over the city, which actually kind of surprises Bakura as he looks back at her. And she says, go ahead.
Zuroa? Sorry, out of game. Who's Zuroa?
Ospire.
It's the other
The second family, yeah.
the other noble family.
The less militant one.
She says, my family has proved their proficiency in ruling over several of our keeps within the Empire, and I believe the alliances I've made here, it would be better for a Softspire to lead this new city. And you can see Bakor getting a little bit miffed. He does not hide it very well as he looks at her and says, young one, you do not have the proficiency to rule a city this large. Your family has done well for itself, but the Azmira are tried and tested generals and strategizers. I don't know. Strategists within the Empire. He says, we have brought the armies, we have put the work in. He says, I will rule over this town as the council has foreseen.
I am not intervening in this. What I'm actually doing is I kind of gesture to the other members of the tribe, and I'm like doing the thing where I'm like.
At this point, real quick, at this point, a bunch of people start standing up, and there's a lot of shouting now. Like the place erupts into argument.
I have a little bit of an out of character question because I was surprised by that claim just now. At no point that I recall did we hear that he had been selected by the Empire to be the ruler, right?
No, he may be expected. He might be overstating the claim a little bit. His word was chosen carefully. He said,
Yeah,
Softspires did arrive first. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, honestly,
So is Beryl
the
saying
course people
something?
are the ones that have been here the shortest of any faction. No, she's not saying anything. Sorry.
Alright. So yeah, there's a bunch of arguing. Is the tribe doing or saying anything at this point?
This is the thing. I want to confer with the other members of the tribe. Like everyone else is getting in this big argument. I want us to kind of like scooch over to the side for a sec. Not even necessarily leave the hall or anything, but just scooch out of the way of everyone else arguing, and quickly ask everyone like, do we care about this? Do we care about which of the Imperial factions rules?
Sim's gonna not scooch. He's gonna step into this and
asking everyone else's opinion then while Sim is already
has an agenda.
Yep.
I don't know if we care, honestly.
Beryl cares about tribe friends here, Dinara and Chiron and Demi, victims who have lived here a long time and finally get chance at new life and are being possibly pushed aside. Beryl cares about this, but mostly Beryl just wants to leave Isaac and find Shah.
So at this point, Dinara and Demi, as some of you may have suspected, start to throw their support behind Dorella, which makes Bakor even more annoyed. Cao Meng is sort of actually backing Bakor a little, which surprises him. And Elodie is kind of remaining neutral, as there's just a lot of fighting within the hall now, and arguments. What are you saying, Sim?
Please, we should, this is indecorous and ultimately unproductive. Shouting is not going to settle this. Please, calm yourselves for just a moment so that we can see if there is substantial argument here. Such things as this should either be easily settled or carefully considered.
Give me
I
a
have one other question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are the Azalea's Avengers present?
They are in the audience, yes. They don't really have any political sway.
Oh no, I was just curious.
They're just enjoying the
they're getting paid
drama.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the audience here. There's some of the undead, some of the residents from the town, like the Warforged, are watching.
Are they all kind of mixed in the pews, or are they all keeping to their own little sections, like away from?
I mean, most of them are in sections. The Warforged are just kind of all over the place, keeping an eye out. But things quiet down a little, Sim, as you put your hand up, and Demi sort of uses her influence to quiet things a bit as well. She says, "What does the tribe have to say about this?"
I've been pulling everyone. I'm like, I kind of shrug and step back and sit down and gesture to the other members of the tribe.
My argument here is simple. I personally cannot speak to Empire's interests. After all, to a certain extent, this is a matter not to be settled at a summit among all factions of Isaac, but a matter to be settled among Imperial representatives about who the Imperium wishes to appoint to represent their interest here. Unfortunately, that sort of communication is not so readily available, so we have this. But I have this much to say. When Bakor Azmira arrived in city, he told me himself that Council expected him to take command of city, but also that he and Council expected him mostly to take command of city filled with mindless hordes of ravenous undead, and to a certain extent that is not what he has found. So now that we are faced with different circumstance, it remains to be decided who is best able to represent Imperial interest here. Given that this is not a place without military threat, but as much diplomacy required as military might, there is, I think, some legitimate question to be had here. And it is perhaps worthwhile to take opportunity to hear from residents of city who will inevitably affect Imperial interests here going forward.
Bakor says you would ask the undead what they want?
Well, we have just spent the first major contention of this entire summit to govern future of city with you negotiating some form of concession or compromise with an undead queen. So yes, I think it might be important to ask what they want.
Undead, not fair to say undead. Normal undead not keep minds, but many citizens of Isaac keep their minds here, and she'll gesture to Dinara and the sword wraiths and stuff.
My point is merely that the idea of needing to negotiate with undead is not unreasonable. You, after all, have had to do so in your role here, and perhaps that will continue to be part of role going forward.
Arella nods and says, obviously the factions here see the value in a Softspire leadership, Bakor. I don't think we should ignore them. And he says, the majority of those living here will be citizens of the Empire. They'll be living. Go ahead and give me a persuasion, Sim. 11 or 28.
Yep.
He says there'll be tradesmen, people from the Nazik Empire, people from the capital, people from all around coming here. It will not just be the undead. And I thought we had already worked this out, Arella, showing her a little disrespect as he doesn't use her title. He says, you've taken my help and my family's help, and we have led the charge to make the city safe. And now you wish to...
I did that!
No one is disputing the contributions of the tribe.
Now, my Lord of Azmira, are you claiming that you would not have fought so valiantly to further Imperial interests if you were not to benefit most directly for your own family? That seems disloyal, perhaps.
He says, yes, my family would benefit from taking control of the city, but we also put the most resources into helping secure it.
What about the
I believe you still stand to benefit under a different Imperial investment of this place. After all, this place is not in fact without its dangers, and Imperial garrison will be necessary.
Please, let Beryl talk. She is very wise.
Beryl's no, she's just blurting things, but...
I know, but you're very wise.
But you say your family invests most here, but Dinara's family lose everything here. Many longtime citizens of Empire who lived all lives, and generations before them lived all lives, and all property were right here. affected by terrible tragedy 100 years ago. They lose everything, and they are simply looking out for the best of what is left to them here.
He says, little one, a spirit and a warforged cannot rule over a major city of the Empire. This will not work for the people, the citizenry. It must
Beryl
be
not say they can. Beryl say is important for them to be part of the community here. And then have say in the home that is all they have. Other Imperials come from other cities and have other things. Wish interest here, yes. Maybe make great city here. Maybe rule here. But it's not fair to pretend that your family give more than anyone else here.
Give me a persuasion check.
I did not intend to even speak that much. She just kept going. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Oh, shoot. I closed my character sheet
Tell him
again.
off. He deserves it.
Isn't really going to have advantage. I mean, while it is a good argument, it's not one that he necessarily likes.
Yeah,
so
gotcha. Yeah. She's not like, she doesn't think that like Dinar's people or Demi's people are going to end up being in charge here. She just doesn't want them swept aside.
And I guess Sim, give me, or wait, you did already. You got 28. So Bakor,
she's worried. She's actually worried about Chiron a lot, is what Beryl is thinking of also. But I don't think we've actually talked or let the humans know about Chiron. So that's what she keeps referring to. Just all the different people that were affected by the tragedy. And
so insight might tell you something at this point. If anyone wants to make insight checks,
do we have to be trained?
Yeah, it's always worth it.
Nope.
Probably not.
Look at the pretty butterfly. Did you see that butterfly?
Man, these people sure are angry.
So Reed, you're starting, and actually Beryl, I guess too. Beryl is
Reed, yeah, much more. Beryl's not trained. I didn't realize she's not trained, so definitely Reed's probably.
Okay. Well, insight is one of those things that. Well, anyway, yeah, maybe Beryl as well. You would get the feeling that Bakor is kind of getting backed into a corner a little. He's keeping his composure, but you can tell he's getting annoyed at the tribe for sure. And definitely annoyed at Arella, because she kind of pulled a fast one with this sudden...
Where is Sim standing in relation to the rest of the tribe? Did you kind of walk centrally when you were speaking?
I would have to walk up to where people were all yelling at each other to be heard.
Okay. Because I pictured Beryl stood up on her pew when she spoke, so she's probably not near you. I was going to whisper something to you if she was nearby. Go ahead.
So yeah, you get the feeling he's getting a little bit annoyed, mostly at the tribe and at Arella, for this sudden push to get him out of the seat of power he was expecting. He would take a moment, as they're still arguing, as people from his faction and the soft spires are kind of yelling at each other. Demi and Queen Dinara have been mostly cordial. They've just kept their support firmly behind Arella. Malastray, he has a stoic face, but you can tell he's loving it.
Yeah, he was always pulling strings for this, so.
Bakor would finally say, in the interest of keeping things going, I will submit to the will of the council and say that Arella, you, or Lady Softspire, you are probably best to take the seat of power for the time being. But there will be more discussions on this because, as was, I believe, said by one of the tribe members, it's not something that should be quickly decided, as the will of the people and the different factions of Issac should definitely be taken into account. He says, I will have to I will have to speak with the Council of Tyvanus and get more input from them. But for now, I cede the position to you and your people. he says, and gives her a polite bow. And there's some clapping. Lady Softspire smiles and walks up, and Demi and Queen Dinara both shake her hand and give her polite bows and say, "We are happy to offer." And Reed, you would suddenly see something.
What am I seeing?
A small invisible creature just walked through the front door. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I want to motion to Barrel and Anikate and get in between this invisible creature and the people in the sitting at the tables.
Alright, so he's pretty far away from you at this point, but you see him begin chanting.
Can
I
at this point?
Can I
I'm just-
cast divine?
Only Reed can see. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
only
he probably
Reed's
were.
kind of pointing at the door and probably saying someone's here. But yeah, you're none of you see it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do we hear chanting?
Can I use divine?
You don't really hear anything because there's a lot of talking
Yeah.
right now because of what's going on.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Reed.
So Reed, is there anything you can do?
How far away is this person?
It is about 100 feet.
Oh. I have Dispel Magic, so I can cast that up to 120 feet. So I will try to cast that on the invisibility of the person.
Alright, so
Nice.
fortunately it's, I guess give me an initiative roll. I'll see if you can beat its initiative.
Get your spell off first. Jeez.
Okay.
So you begin chanting, and a couple of people get concerned in the front row as you begin channeling magics. They have no idea what you're doing. But unfortunately, the creature goes first, and there is a large poof as a gnome is now standing on the altar, and everyone's like, "What the?" And he says, "People of Isik, why was I not invited to this council?" And everyone is just kind of staring at him.
I was
Because you did not know who you are.
I whispered to Barrel, I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Gnomes are the worst. She's
You're the
she's
worst, Cobalt. Quiet. I am Aranye Hollowhand of the Misty Island of Isik, and you have
Everybody knows gnomes are dirty traitors.
Quiet. I am speaking. You have disrespected my sovereignty by not inviting me to this meeting, and I demand a seat at the council. And they all just sort of look at each other, and they all look
I
at
do not think anyone is opposed to you speaking.
Oh,
Who are you?
did you not just... I
Misty
just said
Isle,
what my name was. I am Aranye...
Do you mean that
I don't. Your name doesn't mean anything to me.
Aranye Hollowhand of the Misty Island. How many times must I say it?
Where is
that-
Misty Island?
is that strange landmass on the big lake nearby?
Yes, that's my
We
island.
have not been there. We
Oh.
did not know it was inhabited.
Everyone's just...
But certainly
looking
your
around.
interests are relevant here.
Yes, obviously they are. And that is why I have come to your little council. Because I wish to have my voice heard. And everyone is just kind of looking around at each other. Norella says, "Oh, well, what is it that you wish? Do you have a title?" And he says, "I am the Wizard Hollowhand." She says, "Wizard Hollowhand, what is it you wish?" He says, "I wish my freedom to be left alone to continue my experiments." She says, "Well, as long as your experiments do not interfere with what is happening in Isik, I see no problem." And he says, Good. I just needed confirmation."
Although if your experiments do extend their influence beyond island into city, you can likely expect inquiries to come from new residents. But if you can keep contained, I see no problems.
"Very well. I am glad I have made myself heard. Good day to you." And he snaps his fingers and disappears.
No.
And you would see an invisible gnome start running down the aisle here, back towards the door. Reed.
That is so weird.
I'm still
weird.
gonna cast
Does it
Dispel
take
Magic
him a while?
and
Do we hear the footsteps for all?
Yeah, I was.
So short.
You probably hear murmurs. You probably wouldn't necessarily hear his footsteps, although Reed would see him, moving down the aisle. You gonna cast Dispel Magic on him?
yeah, why not?
So rude.
Alright,
But
so
it's not like he was polite.
As he is running down, he suddenly just poofs back in and looks around, very agitated, looking towards Reed, and says,
Beryl will laugh because she knows that he looks like I'm assuming we can tell that he did not want to be seen.
Oh.
So she's gonna like make a bigger laugh than she should about like how ridiculous he looks. Like
he looks at Reed and says, "You asshole!" and he starts chanting again. This time he is casting. Well, does anyone have? I guess I'm assuming no one has anything they can do.
how far is he from?
Not at this
How
range.
far has he run?
So he is casting again. Everyone gets a little
How
concerned.
far has he run?
Oh, he's probably like over here. But he would.
Where?
He's like right here, kind of halfway down the aisle.
So he's in range for us to do if we wanted.
Do what?
Well, sorry, you just asked if anyone wanted to do anything, and then you kept going, so I wasn't sure, like, if, like...
Yeah, alright, yeah, so he's casting a spell. There are things you can do in response, but if it goes off, he would just teleport away. This time he just disappears.
I'll let him go.
I don't know what kind of spell.
Everyone is just looking at each other a bit surprised by all this. Arella says, Tribe, do you know of this hollow hand?
No, we had some inkling that something strange was happening on that island, but we never investigated. So, I guess something strange indeed.
Well, another problem or possible problem to add to the list.
Council will be receiving long report from you, I suppose.
Yes.
So out of character, just a question: in the land grants negotiation part, were the vampires granted any territory?
Not yet, but the council is still kind of going on.
Okay, just checking.
So, yeah, things kind of calm down after that. Aranye is gone. Arella continues talking. Elodie basically, kind of what was expected, she just agrees not to interfere with things and to keep her undead horde either below the city or outside the city, where they cannot cause trouble. And she is annoyed but says fine, because she would say that, they're not going to cause trouble. But she just says fine, she'll keep them out of sight. Is anyone going to comment on that? On Elodie or what was agreed upon?
I might take a point to clarify whether she'd be willing to lend the aid of her armies if they end up being useful against, the Alhoons or whoever else. Like, whether she's amenable to being called on for things with, compensation or whatever to be negotiated.
She says, I will surely be around. If you want to ask me, then you may ask me. I'm not guaranteeing my services, if that's what you're asking.
Oh no, I would never presume so much. Merely to know that you are not rejecting such offer or such requests out of hand.
In fact, I will be in Issyk for a while. I plan to do some more research below the city, though none of my experiments should conflict with what you're doing on the surface. And they all are fine as long as it's not causing an issue. And she says yes, and if you wish to come and speak with me, then I am willing to hear offers for my services. Though I'll most likely be busy with what I'm doing. Still,
does anyone besides the tribe know how to go and speak with her?
So the Asli's Avengers would chime in and say, we know where Elodie is. We've worked with her before. And she says, and you are all quite heroic. I would be happy to work with you all again. They nod. Anything else anyone wants to say?
Yeah. I will raise the question of Kalmang and his vampires' presence in the city.
Oh, well, that's what I was getting to next.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Never mind. Yeah, if that's next up, then that's
next up, Kalmang would speak on his people staying below the city. All of them are a little bit iffy about this. The Queen Dinara and Arella and Demi Prime all say, I think it would be best for all of us if you and your vampires were able to find a new home. I realize that terrible things were done to you by the Shadowlord, but as was seen earlier today, it's way too easy for the populace to blame problems on you, and I think it would be better for everyone if you lived somewhere else. And both Queen Dinara and Demi Prime sort of second and third that.
At this point, can Barrel sidle up to Sim and kind of like tug on his robe and like kind of whisper up to him like, invite vampires to help tribe in Shadowfell against Shadowlord.
It is time to make that offer. Given tenor of conversation so far, Cao Meng, if you are amenable, I have offer that may resolve this issue once and for all.
He looks to you. He seems kind of annoyed because he thought that his people were going to be given asylum.
We had hoped to find some solution whereby you could live alongside City. I know certainly Mei Jun hoped for some reversal or modification of your curse that would allow for such, but it seems it is not possible, and given the reputation of vampires, any agreement we came to, I think perhaps if we pressed here, we could secure you some form of residence in City, but it would be unstable. Eventually there would be incident or even suspicion, and things would devolve. This is not a good way for perhaps honorable men such as you to reside in a place of City like this.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage, as he seems a bit peeved. Which would
so
be
that's
a
just
wash.
flat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a wash. Okay. Oof.
He says, I was told that if we honored the deal, we would be given a place in this city, and now you just pulled that away.
We only said voice in council. No guarantee. Nobody. No faction had guarantees besides voice in council. Sorry, I don't know why Beryl keeps speaking up. I need to shut up.
So there's a bit of an uncomfortable silence as he's kind of given the stink eye to a few people now. Is anyone saying anything?
And as I have said, Cao Meng, if you truly wish to lobby for future for your people here, we can perhaps attempt, but I do not see a good outcome in absence of way to change the nature of your curse. After all, this truce, can you maintain it indefinitely?
Give me another persuasion check.
Making a lot of these.
There you go.
He says, a deal was made. This is a dishonor to just go back on it. We upheld our end of the bargain. I understand your arguments, but I don't feel my people are being treated justly.
You have not even heard my offer. I said I have alternative offer for you.
What is your offer then?
The tribe has recently secured an avenue of transporting, I think perhaps near unlimited number of people to Shadowfell in in attempt to pursue and pursue some form of assault against Shadowlord's forces. And as you have previously expressed a desire for some form of vengeance or rebuttal to those who have harmed you so, and perhaps taste of elven blood, I thought perhaps you and your people might enjoy opportunity to come to Shadowfell with us and contend with the Shadowlord's forces there. Indeed, it is a place that is perhaps more amenable to more extended residence by vampires, and certainly there is no lack of worthy prey, since nobody there is a friend to any of us, and
well, we have a couple friends there, but
Except Shock.
well,
Shock and company.
sorry, there are friends we are seeking to rescue, but most of population there is sworn to Shadowlord, and therefore enemies to Imperium and to the city. And furthermore, in perhaps combating Shadowlord and his forces, you may encounter opportunity to learn more of what was done to you and how to modify it in ways that certainly could secure you a easier future here in Isik, or even, if you prefer, a better existence on that side, although I do not know what we will find. Certainly there is more acceptable prey and perhaps
Less sunlight.
purpose more suited to your character and talents. After all, here there is very little to fight, and you will certainly be hunted if you try to become hunters. But there, it seems opportunity for you and your people.
Did someone
For
say less
justice, for
sunlight?
vengeance, even
Yeah.
place to live,
That was a good point.
Yeah,
What did you
Kajaka's
say?
like, also less sunlight.
and that.
He says, I have heard tale of the Shadowfell. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Nice.
Says, and I do savor the idea of drinking some cultist blood. You might think that Arella might be a little bit, I don't want to say weirded out, but maybe turned off by the tribe allying with these vampires. With your passive insights, but not to the point where she is now an enemy with you or anything. Just maybe you can tell some maybe disdain.
Not the call she would have made, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. But he nods and says, how do you plan to get to the Shadowfell? I thought planeswalking was an ability only reserved for the most powerful of Arcanists.
Most powerful of Arcanists, and we have recently captured Shard of Power from truly extraordinary source. It will allow us to open a gate. It will remain open for some time. That will allow us to pass through to Shadowfell. Because of nature of gate, there is actually some arranging to do with our friends here in Isik to secure the gate while we are in there to make sure it does not cause problems while it stands open. But we should be able to muster significant force, venture into Shadowfell, and we possess enough power to return perhaps once as well, by similar means. And it is a rare opportunity for us, for we have interest to pursue in Shadowfell, and it is a unique opportunity for you, who needs perhaps both something to do and a source of blood fairly soon, I imagine.
He says,
Yeah.
indeed. Very well. You will have our support. If you go to the Shadowfell, my clan will join you there. You say you know the location of the cultists.
We hope to find them. We have some information about where their holdings are, but again, with planar travel, I am no expert. I do not know how close to our destination we will arrive.
Give me another persuasion check. I guess you'd still have advantage because of the spell.
Yeah. Good thing, too.
Good thing, yeah.
He says, well, it's not as promising, but very well. We shall assist you for now. I may ask for payment once we know more details.
Well, anything it is in my power to give, I will at least consider, but we will have to see what we find when we arrive there. But
This
it
is,
is my hope that perhaps we will simply find an invested fortress, rip out all the Shadarkai, recover our hostages, and leave you with a nice fortress to defend in Shadowfell.
He says, very well. We are going to take our leave for now, but you know where to find us. I assume that my people will not be targeted until we leave, and Arella nods and says, you have not leniency, but whatever it would be called. Clemency, yeah. As long as you do not attack our people, then you may stay peacefully within your tunnels. He says, very well. The deal stands for now. And then he kind of snaps his fingers, and a bunch of annoyed vampires who are giving everyone dirty looks kind of just start making their way out. You can tell they're not happy with the three faction leaders who they thought were going to, honor that deal. But they step out. Which is basically the end of the council, unless any of you want to say anything. They're
I just want to smooth over some feathers. I will.
Right. Before we do that, let's take a quick 5-minute break because I need to use the restroom. But you can think about what you want to say. I'll be right back.
Cool.
I have returned.
I am back as well. Sorry about Beryl.
Nah, that was great.
I just sometimes like I have comments and questions as a player, and as a like when we're making decisions on what to do next, we are always talk so much like as a tribe, probably too much. Sometimes we can't decide what we want to do, and so I think it's just kind of like habit. I'm like, wait, what? And I'm still really unclear on what promise that like the vampires think wasn't capped, because like as far as I remember, we just said like don't kill anyone and we'll leave you alone and you can come to the summit and we'll figure things out.
Yeah.
So A, Passionate Barrel was great and amazing. Sorry, I was muted when I said that. I always love it when that happens, so don't apologize for that. That was awesome. And B, I think part of the reason that we had that issue with Cao Meng was that Mei Jun was doing a lot of talking to Cao Meng. And Mei Jun might have either misrepresented or overpromised on what the tribe was offering here.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
or,
that's entirely possible. Yeah.
So like
I mean,
he may
was
actually have legitimate grounds to be miffed, but again, the vampires were never going to get anything more than a raw deal or a war for extermination. So like,
Yeah.
I do think we might need to encourage Arella to do something to smooth Bakor's feathers. Actually, like offering him like a general or defense or some sort of important role here. As her council or whatever, her cabinet.
I suspect that would happen anyway, because Malastray seems to be a pretty savvy political advisor.
Okay.
But also, I just personally don't know them well enough that it might be better to have him fight to secure it in the Imperial Council than it is for Arella to offer it directly, because that could be a slight to his pride at this point.
Gotcha.
So like,
okay.
It's not clear. Like, but yeah, like, if the Imperials appoint like an Imperial governor and also a marshal, and they just put him there, and they're sort of still, doing the Imperial politics dogfight, that's fine, as long as it doesn't break out into civil war. I don't care. So
yeah,
but I don't think that's a suggestion we need to make necessarily. Even if Softspire's not savvy enough to do it, Malastray will be. And even if not, Bakor's certainly going to be aggressive enough to secure a position like that behind her back anyway, and that still works out for us more or less.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, I don't know. I mean, again, if we want to play Imperial politics, we can. I'm just trying to get us disentangled. So
yeah, no, I think we all like. I think Beryl doesn't want to like leave certain people high and dry that like have helped us and that she considers tribe friends. But also like, yeah, she wants to get out of here. Honestly, she wanted to get out of here before we came here. She wanted to go north to take the Princess Drigda home, but we got all tangled up in Ithic, and now Shock and all of our friends are missing, so...
Yeah, I think the really hairy thing will actually be the fact that we still need the Asmira forces to guard the Isik side of the portal, the gate, when we go through, and we still technically are calling on Jazik services for that. So I think we don't need him necessarily, but no, I'm just saying Bakor is honorable enough to want to honor that deal, and also grumpy enough that he'll be real pissed about it, and that'll just be an interesting dynamic to carry that forward with.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm not worried about it per se. It's just I think that's going to be our biggest Asmira issue going forward. And like, sure they'll make another play for influence in the city, but let them have it. Whatever. I don't mind disentangling us while leaving a big mess behind. It is a little sad to have soured things with the Asmira as much as we have, because they were wealthy and potentially powerful patrons that we could have squeezed a lot more magic items out of. But whatever. We can deal.
Which family employs the Avengers, the Azaliga's Avengers group?
I think the Asmira hold their contract now, but I don't know if it's a long-term thing.
Gotcha. Okay. I was thinking it was Softspires for some reason.
No, it was. I'm not sure if the Softspires have the coin for it, honestly.
Are they not wealthy?
I mean, they're wealthy, but like the Avengers are like apparently like imperially famous, you know?
Gosh, we need to up our rates. We didn't even get paid for the Isik job.
Right, we were promised assistance with getting to the Shadowfell, and that hasn't really materialized in any way.
That was after we secured Isik. Like, we didn't get paid for securing Isik, which brought the humans here in the first place.
Oh, that?
And then after the humans arrived, we, did the deal to do some further jobs here and to help settle things here, and that was help to the Shadowfell.
Legit, did anyone even look into it? For all you know, there's like some huge bounty offered at the capital for someone who destroys the big thing in the middle of the city, and we could just go there and claim it. Like, if the Empire had a bounty on destroying whatever was lurking in Isik, like, it may be that you can just show up and claim it. I don't know if anyone looked into it.
I don't know that it was well known by the living what was actually in play here, as far as like we fought a shadow dragon and we fought two shadow lords,
Sure. But I'm just saying, like,
but
they
yeah,
clearly
maybe
knew something was gone. Like, I'm just saying, it may be that there was someone out there offering a bounty for someone who could help out or help, do something in Isik, and you might be able to go collect it.
Maybe we can have one of our agents in Char do that in our absence. Send them a message or something.
Anyway,
I don't know.
If you want to get paid for stuff, you just got to see if anyone's offering. Right?
Yeah. And
I don't think anyone ever even did that, right?
Well, we got paid for the Char job, but that kind of led into the whole Shadowlords are up to no good thing,
The payment for the Isik job was supposed to be whatever was in the vault.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's true. You're right. We did get paid.
Too much.
We got some magic items and some gold. Yeah. We got more from the dragon. Well, more gold.
And their hordes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, if you're out to make money, like, I'm sure you could have just, I don't know, there are ways to make money from all sorts of things as an adventurer. Like, find that wealthy, obsessive historian who just wants to know more about the Shadowfell or what happened in Isik. Well, we
thought that's what we thought Galen Blackwater was when we...
You had a patron who you thought was going to pay for all this?
Well, no, we learned out pretty early on that he was crooked, but that's because he was possessed by a Shadowlord.
Oh, cool. Anyway.
Well, actually, I mean, we're on good terms with him now, I think.
Yeah.
But
he's unlikely to pay you for this stuff, yeah.
Right.
Anyway, but I'm just saying, you can go out and find someone willing to pay for the sorts of things adventurers do, but typically, if you do them first, it's a little harder to get paid unless someone's made a public commitment, so...
Well, when the Softspires first came to Isik, they offered us a contract.
Oh, right,
yeah. But by that point, we were looking to find our friends.
Yeah. It's hard to be adventurers for hire when you're tied down with other commitments, too, so...
Yeah.
But if you ever want to do the adventurers for hire thing, I bet we could go into business that way, and it would be fine. We just have to decide to do it and get disentangled from all our other commitments, which...
Beryl is Beryl is convinced that if we take Drigda home, then we're going to get riches and glory from her family.
Alright, so what does the group want to do? As things are wrapping up, you said you want to try to smooth things over?
Just a little bit. Mostly with the people who are skeptical, or with Saucefire, who's skeptical about our alliance with the vampires. I just kind of want to vaguely shrug and say, it was the only clean way to avoid an eventual war of extermination with vampires, which nobody here really wants to fight.
Give me a persuasion check. She says, no, I do see the wisdom in how you handle it. I think it was a great idea. I just hope it does not, I hope you do not regret it later.
Oh, I have no doubt that it may cause problems, but problems, well, solving problems is part of what we do, no?
That's fair enough if you have the resources, then. Better there than in town, possibly killing people. I do appreciate you coming up with that solution. It made things easier. I had feared that Cao Meng might seek retribution. And I'm going to have enough to worry about with the anger of the Izmira family and all the other unknowns. I have to go see about this new Hollow Hand and what dangers he might pose.
He seems crotchety sort. You may want to see if Ezeli's Avengers have any advice on dealing with crotchety secretive wizards. They seem to have experience with such.
Maybe I'll see if Elodie wants to speak to him, wizard to wizard. In any case, I'll figure it out. You don't have to worry.
Indeed.
Was there anyone else you want to speak with?
I'm good. I don't know about the rest.
So yeah, you think the Izmira, while not your enemies per se, definitely aren't on as good of terms as you were.
Yeah. Shame. Still gonna need their help for some things.
Yeah. So the council sort of wraps up. Everyone starts going their own way. What does the group want to do? It's probably about 3 o'clock at this point. The council meeting was about 3 hours.
I guess we go see Chiron.
Oh, Arella would approach you afterwards and say, I do owe you again for all you've done for me, and of course for Demi and Dinara. And while they don't have resources within the capital, my family does. So if you ever find yourself in Tyvanis, I have a letter that I could send with you in the event you need to go there for supplies or information or anything else of that sort. Although it would be quite the trip to get there, obviously. But I do have some contacts that could help you maybe get some extra resources that you might need for your journey to the Shadowfell. And she would give you basically a letter and a couple of names of Softspire people, basically nobles who live in the capital.
That is greatly appreciated, my lady.
Says, yeah, I would offer, I wish I could help more. Unfortunately, I think the only one who might be able to teleport is, what's her name? Akami.
Oh.
Akami might be the only one with an ability to get you there quickly, and I don't know if she'd be willing to help you at this point.
Perhaps not.
But anyway,
we will already need to call on their aid to secure the end of the gate, I believe. From my understanding, best chance of success is to use gates that we have perhaps found in Ising, so...
Yes, well, if there's anything more that I can do for you, of course, let me know. And Demi and Dinara would also quickly speak to you just to thank you for helping things go smoothly. They're all happy with how things turned out.
It is good to have friends in city. I will consider my efforts well repaid if there is no open war in Isik in the next few years.
I think there'll be some squabbling over leadership, but I'm pretty sure that with how things went today, the council would end up just reaffirming the decision made by this meeting. So.
Well then, in that case, just when you get opportunity, sing praises of tribe far and wide. Reputation is always valuable if it is available.
Of course. And that letter can be used anywhere you go where my family is, so feel free to display it to any of the Softspire or their allies.
Of course.
Alright, so is there anything the group wants to do now that the council meeting has finished?
I think we should move, like, I'm speaking more out of game than my character. I think we should just move, like, jump time to when we're ready to open the portal and go to the vampires, right?
I think we have some prep to do. I think we have some prep to do before heading straight into the portal. Either going back to Char or going to the capital or going somewhere that we can ensure people are equipped and we've got supplies. Also, are we waiting for Daniel still? Or am I forgetting? Let me look here.
You mean the guy who's selling the stuff?
Yeah. So yeah, he left on the 60th of autumn with a lot of our loot to do trades and purchases. So.
Oh right, I did ask Katraka to prepare a sending. So if we're gonna do some sendings, we should do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's only been 10 days, so likely he's on his way to the capital.
Oh right, he said he was going to the capital.
Yeah, he's probably still traveling there. If it's only the 60th, because that's only 10 days ago.
Well, I mean, I don't think we should just jump into the Shadowfell if I mean, I don't necessarily want to stay for months, but I think we should make sure we're prepared, and making sure that all that loot we sent out that could be purchasing us some protective or offensive gear, maybe we should wait to be able to get that back, or even follow. Like if we could go to someplace closer, but we could head that direction so that it's less time him getting back to us, and find a city to load up ourselves.
Are we concerned that if we take too long, something could happen to our allies?
Yeah, I mean, that's how we were originally ready to just jump right in the portal after they disappeared. But since then, I don't know. I guess it seemed like we were trying to prepare more.
So the timing that I'm worried about is how long the vampires can hold up their abstinence.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm really concerned if we try to go to another entire city, make a rep up in some other entire adventure. The only thing, obviously I've asked for better armor, and I appreciate the tribe's generosity in being willing to help me acquire it, but I don't need it, strictly speaking, in order to, go on this next phase of the adventure. And, ultimately, the only other thing that I had really wanted to accomplish was acquiring the spell components for Legend Lord, find out more about that ring we found. But that, unless that ring is imminently going to come to life and start doing evil things to us, that can wait.
I think we could do that ring though, guy, before we leave.
Well, the issue with finding the material components, if there's somewhere near here we can purchase them, then I'm happy to cast the spell whenever. But unfortunately, I was unable to procure the spell components myself in my homeland before setting
Well,
out.
we could.
Yeah, if it's just refined religious components, then we can just use it, unless it requires something really exotic that is specified.
There is something specific that spell specifies. Let me look at it real quick.
Well, and remember, we can port back to Char, and Highguard is 3 days from Char, so and would have a little more stuff than Char would have. Not nearly as far as capital.
Yeah, there's incense worth at least 250 GP, which I think is like, that can probably be generic religious, but the non-consumed bit is actually the tricky bit. It's 4 ivory strips that cost each. I don't know where we can find ivory.
Did you find out anything about the ring?
No, that was the thing. The identify didn't give us anything.
Oh, okay.
That's why I want to use legend lore.
Okay. I just wasn't sure.
Did we? Do I remember correctly? Did we commission something from the blacksmith in Char that he's working on for you? I know we talked about it.
No, we sent someone. We sent the runner to buy something from Highguard instead.
That's right. Okay.
All right. Well, obviously, the more time you take, the more danger shock is in. And as someone mentioned, the vampires might get antsy. So there is a decision to be made about how you want to approach this. But
yeah.
it's sort of a crossroads, depending on what the group wants to do now.
Yeah. My preference is to take no more than a single-digit number of days to prepare and line up, some Izmira or whoever else we can to watch our gate and just go through with the vampires and Jazik if he's still willing, and the Avengers if they still want to check out the Shadowfell.
I think if it was more convenient, we could have prepared more, but because of the situation we're in, I think we kind of just need to get our crap together and roll out.
Now, what was the deal for Jazik again?
Bakor asked us for the tribe's help in securing the vampires' peaceful-ish behavior or resolving the vampire problem one way or another.
Yeah. Okay,
and if we manage that, and he was waiting till the end of the council to see how well we manage that, he would offer us Jazik's help for our excursion to the Shadowfell.
Yes, although you might be a little bit iffy on the condition of that deal at this point.
Yep.
You could still
like I said, that's why I said if he's still willing, or if he's still on board. So yeah. He dangled a lot of that and maybe more benefits in front of us, but I think he was hoping to secure our loyalty, which he didn't have. So
yeah. Yep. So what do you want to do? I mean, we can skip time. We don't have to go slowly. I just need to know what the group's working on.
So it sounds like single-digit number of days. We can go back to Char, go to that nearby place, do quick shopping trip, go back to Char, port back to Isek, go to the Shadowfell, right?
It is 3 days journey to Highguard. You've never, I don't think you've ever, well...
That's 6 days.
The very first session.
Yeah. We haven't been there since the very first session, but yeah, that would be 6 days after porting.
Well, and we sent Iara there, or was it Kavar once before? So yeah.
Yeah. Is Iara working with you in this game?
She is, but she does not currently have an assignment. We had sent her on assignment at one time, but she's already returned.
Isn't she didn't we send her to get armor from Highguard, or did we send someone else?
Yeah,
maybe
I think
we
you
did.
did send her because she was using Reed's room. She was sleeping in there.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So we've got Kavar going to the capital and Iara going to Highguard. Do we know when she started? Did I record it?
I want to say she left yesterday before you
Group
ported
NPCs.
Here.
Let me look here. Iara. Oh, I put mission completed as of 66th autumn. I didn't put the new mission.
Okay. So I believe it was the 69th that she left. So
yeah, that sounds right to me.
Okay. All right.
So she's probably still on her way there. So is that what you want to do now? Teleport back?
So I want to leave it to Sim. I say if it's 3 days each way, then we can make it within your single-digit criterion. Barely.
We don't have to return to Isik to do the portal, do we?
I think it would likely be best, since that is where Shock went through. I do not know enough about planar travel, but it can only help to have our gate open as close as possible to where we expect Shock to have lived.
Yeah, the barrier is probably thinnest here because of the ritual. There are places where it's easier to open gates to the Shadowfell.
And
I have down that Kavar was traveling to Highguard as well.
Well, maybe he was going there first.
Maybe, yeah. Because we did have a big list of stuff for him.
Yeah.
So, it would be on the way. But yeah, do you want to just try to go to the Shadowfell and skip all the downtime stuff, or do you want to do something before you go to the Shadowfell? Because you know a location where you could probably open a gate.
Right. I mean, we still want to arrange with either the Warforged or the Asmira or the Swordweights, or maybe all of them, to guard the gate while it's open. Because I think Te'alam told us the gate would stay open for a while after we went through, and that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, she said a few hours.
Yeah. And those arrangements probably won't take too long, but probably, would be like, let's do this tomorrow or something like that at the earliest.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm more concerned with the out-game amount of time. Like, I don't think securing that deal is going to be hard. There's plenty of people who have lots of goodwill at this point towards us. So, we ask whoever it is, probably the Warforged at this point, rather than the Asmira, to, help. And the only other question is, are we bringing in any warriors aside, obviously the PCs, are we bringing in any warriors aside from the vampires, like any other allies?
Jadzik, if he's still willing to come, just because he's super useful.
We could ask the Demi Prime if they want to spare, like Nimble or something.
Sword Wraiths, maybe?
Alright, well, who you want
I
to go
doubt
talk
they would
to?
come unless Dinara comes.
Yeah. I think they're better on this side of the portal anyway. Like, I don't think an army is going to help us.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We had an army last time and they got sucked into the Shadowfell.
It's true, that's how you lost Shock. What were you saying, Anna Kate?
No, I was just going to say that it seems like this might be a stealth mission more than an assault.
Oh, I guess we should invite the Avengers because they expressed an interest in coming along, and
that's a good point.
If they want to, they would be useful. But
yeah,
perhaps we should speak to them today before the sun sets. In this time, right after the council meeting.
All right. Well, you could go speak to the Avengers, Asley's Avengers. Their leader, Milo, would say, we would be very interested in going. However, we were asked by Softspire to help with some securing of the city and the undercaves. So we have a
should
few...
not have suggested it to her. Oh well.
So their contract is with the Softspire.
Well, now they are. After the
the
meeting, Lady Softspire spoke with them and asked them to work on a few things. As Isik is being built, she's going to need someone to help make sure things stay, quiet and peaceful. And since you all are leaving, she went and talked to them.
Cool. All right.
But
very well.
We will have to do it next time, Milo says. I am very interested in exploring the Shadowfell.
Well,
next time. Beryl doesn't plan on going to Shadowfell more than once.
I may be interested in more than one journey, so we will see.
Indeed, he says with a big smile. Maybe one of the other groups would be willing to help?
Which other groups?
Well, friends all over the city. Maybe some of them would be willing to lend a hand.
It is worth asking, but we are looking for unconventional forces, perhaps, to take us, let us say.
I guess you have those vampires, right?
That is the plan.
Well, let us know if there's anything else we can do for you that's more local.
Very well.
All right, so that didn't work out. That's fine, though, for a good reason. So we just need to get somebody to guard this end of the gate, right?
Oh, well, if you need someone to guard, they would be fine helping you guard when the gates open, if that's what you asked them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking them to go through.
No, we were.
We were, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if they want to do something local instead, there's that, so...
Yeah, so if you ask them about that, Milo says, yeah, no, we can help with that. I assume we wouldn't be the only ones there watching the portal.
No, we would want perhaps sizable force, just in case.
Yeah, that's what I would suggest. Let us know when you're going. We'll help out with that.
Very well.
He gives you a low 5 because he's a little guy. All right, who else are you talking to?
Forge.
Probably we want to talk to all the people we're still on good terms with. So we would want to check in with Dinara.
Also,
and Danny.
when we have a chance to talk to Dinara or any of the sword wraiths, but preferably Dinara, I do want to check in about her plans for how to keep Chiron and Henry safe, just because of the humans starting to explore tunnels and things under the keep and stuff.
She says, we will keep them out of the tunnels as best we can. They don't really have a reason to go down there. It sounds like, Lady Softspire is going to be in charge of things, and we're on good terms, so I could just have her keep her people above ground. We'll say the tunnels are
when you
dangerous.
tell people not to go underground, and they wonder what's down there, and maybe some of them explore. Just saying.
Certainly, but the tunnels are pretty expansive. They'd have to get pretty lucky to find Chiron down there. And his doors would also be locked, so they have no way in. We can also post guards near him.
Have you been able to visit Chiron since you got new shiny body?
No, I've been too busy. I still need to go see him. Maybe I'll do that tonight or tomorrow.
He has helped Tribe much, and as I recall, you told us he helped you much as well. So he's probably very lonely.
Yes.
As you were in your chamber.
Yes, and I do plan on seeing him. But did you say you needed help with the portal to guard it?
Yes, if some small contingent of the sword wraiths could, spend a few hours guarding it while it's open to make sure nothing terrible comes back through, it would be
she says,
helpful.
Yeah, that's. I would say just talk to Lady Softspire as she's in charge now, and she can coordinate something with me. We could all send some people.
Yeah, Avengers also want to help.
Oh, Lady can talk to them too. So yeah.
Yeah. So just speak with her. She's kind of in charge now.
Wonderful.
All right. So I'll say that she would be willing to send some forces to watch the area where you're opening the portal.
Okay. Other things. If we're giving at least a day or two to arrange all this, I think we should try to just burn the components for legend lore unless they're the specific focus object that's needed.
Ivory
Kind of
strips.
is. It's the ivory strips that's the issue.
Oh.
I don't know where we can find that around here.
I think we have to at least go to Char, if not Highguard.
Yeah, you definitely need a market for something that's specialized. You're not going to find that in like an army quartermaster.
Yeah.
Unless, one of the nobles that are here happen to have something ivory of their own that they'd be willing to part with. Like jewelry or...
let us borrow. Because those aren't consumed.
Yeah.
Don't you have to make it into a statue of yourself?
No, maybe. Hold on. Maybe I just didn't read the spell carefully.
Am I thinking of a different spell?
Hold on.
No, I think
statue of yourself, I think, is contingency, but
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Okay.
So, Lady Softspire, unfortunately, says, I don't have anything like that. My apologies. And right now, the Izmira are not willing to speak with you, or at least Bakor.
Yeah.
They're pouting.
They're busy, is what you're told.
Alright. Onward and outward, then.
So, the ring, then. Actually, that does bring up another quick thing. Sorry to delay things more, but should we bring this ring that we have been unable to identify into the Shadowfell, or should we leave it with a trusted ally?
I do not think it will cause any harm in beg of holding.
All right.
Oh, we need to find Melody as well, and
of course, because
if she's I think she's planning on coming with us, but
wants to come with us. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Shock would want us to try and keep her from coming with us, but I'm pretty sure she's set on coming with us.
Yeah.
I am not inclined to stop her, but you can all play that how you
about
want. You know
Lyra?
her better than I do.
What about Lyra? I know Lyra and Chiron have been researching for us, so we'll have to stop in with them before we pour it
Yeah, we
to
should.
see any more information they've learned, and Lyra may or may not want to come.
I mean, Lyra has been very happy just spending all this time in the library. She's like a kid in a candy shop. But she does have a lot of loyalty to the group, and she says, I will join you if you think it is for the best, but I am perfectly happy to just stay here and continue my research. I did want to ask, because now you all were at one point within the Alcavian labs, correct?
I do not believe I have been there.
Reed, Farrell,
Yes.
I don't think
we,
they're at.
we were.
So she's a little bit interested in going back there because there was a library that was left there, and she kind of wants to work on study in that place more. She was interested in researching ways to maybe gain control of that place because there was a lot of magic involved, and she didn't have as much time there as she wanted.
Well, she made herself. She got herself made Rune Master in the Hollow, and Reed as well. And I think we left the port powered, so she could port from one of the portals that we've established.
She definitely knows she can get there. But she was kind of asking, what the group wants her to do.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's why she was suggesting that as the next course of action for her. She says it could be a little bit dangerous. I'm not sure the exact magics that are still there, but I would really like to make that my next project, unless the group objects.
Is it safe for Lyra to go alone, or Lyra will take people?
I think I should be okay alone, though if you know someone who would join me, I wouldn't be against the idea of some
maybe Demi would be willing to give you a Warforged bodyguard because they would be able to collect information for Demi there that she might be interested in the secrets of Alcavian Lab as well.
Says, well, I don't think Demi would be willing to give me anything, but if the group asked her, she'd...
I didn't mean assign you a... Anyway, okay.
Yeah, she meant the group would probably have to ask her.
Oh, no, yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah. But sure, if you want to ask her, I would welcome the protection just in case. Or just anyone you think would be a good partner for me there.
So what do we think, guys? I mean, Lyra's been very, very helpful to us in the past with her magic, and of course with filling Reed's ring. But
I have no problem with offering Lyra whatever it is she wishes from us, but as to assessment of dangers, I have never been to this place, and I do not know Lyra's capacity so well.
I meant taking her with us to the Shadowfell versus letting her continue research here. Like, do we think we need her?
Oh, I also still have your wyvern egg.
No, you don't. I've been carrying it for a while now. Yeah.
I'll take it off her inventory then.
Yeah, I've had it in the party inventory for quite a while now.
Okay. Did you take the power crystal off her as well?
I think the arcane crystal is... Yeah. I've got it logged. Let me find it. The arcane crystal...
Yeah, she had it in her temporal space.
So we've had this conversation a couple times, and we determined that it is powering the port in the Alcavian Labs.
Alright, so I'll take that off her inventory.
Yeah. So there's one arcane crystal powering the Alcavian Labs point. And then we had shadow crystals powering Tarsus, Kaltora,
so that's
and
the powering that.
And the Corelli bunker.
Do you want her to join you in the Shadowfell, or do you want her to stay here and try to do some project on the labs?
So we've got the vampires and we've got Melody. And if we find our people, we could have up to another 24 or however many there was that disappeared. Although we don't know if they've all survived. That's a pretty big group. What do we think, guys?
What is her skill set? I don't have a good sense of that.
She is a utility wizard. Not the best at combat. Lots of utility spells. Expert researcher, expert archaeologist.
I
worry about our ability to keep her safe, given her abilities and things that she's not as good at.
She's like... Is that right?
What?
Lou?
What'd you
I was
say?
I was just trying to remember. She's an elf, right?
Yeah, she's a high elf.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Alright, you want to give her the go-ahead to do her Alcavian Labs project then?
I think it is unkind to ask someone who has already done so much for us to do so much when she has other things she would rather attend to.
She says,
I'm fine
yes,
with that.
and honestly, if my lab research goes well, that could be a boon to all of you. If I can learn more about the labs and gain control of them, it could be a place to use to our benefit for research and item creation and all sorts of things.
Perhaps it is better then to see your talents best used there.
Can we try to get her a bodyguard or a companion before we leave Isaac as well? Like, I imagine we're gonna talk to Demi before we go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly time. Like a day or two isn't gonna hurt. We've got time to run errands.
Was there any new information, Lou? Because Chiron and Lyra, a lot of what they've been researching in the last week or more in game was related to what we needed to know about the Shadowfell or how to help Shock and what have you. Did they find any new information that we might?
So, they told you the basic, the rundown of the Shadowfell, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
yeah, like, you're not supposed to spend too much time in the wilderness, or else you'll start to have your life force drained. You have to stay close to cities. Have the protection of the Raven Queen. I told you all that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So other than that, they would just say, I mean, she would just tell you it's a very dangerous place. There's lots of negative energy creatures like wraiths, and actually vampires are fairly common, and just other really nasty things that wander. So if you can, make sure you get to a city and then plan your steps wisely when you're not within a city. The Shadowfell, or the Shadowkai elves have a impressive presence there. They are a society of theocratic socialists, basically. Lots of power to the Church of the Raven Queen, and they don't really use money that much as I mean, I guess they do use money, but it's very heavily run by the state. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some coins. Not very many, but a few of the pale coins in our inventory.
Lyra wouldn't know too much about the power structure of the Shadowkai society there, but she would know that their society is very old because it's unaffected by the cataclysms. So they've been around for a long, long time. Because the Shadowfell doesn't experience the cataclysms like Gaian does.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else she would be able to tell you.
Discovered. Okay.
Maybe,
all right. Well,
maybe she'd have some basic coordinates of a city where you might teleport when you first go through, based on where you are now. So she would give those to you. And she would probably suggest you head there first to get more information on where Shock and them might be. Alright. And, yeah, that's all she's got for you right now. Are you sending anyone with her for her project?
I think if we talk with Demi before we leave.
Yeah, if Demi can spare a Warford bodyguard or two, I'm sure.
If she'd be willing, and if she, wants to learn from,
give me
sending an envoy.
Persuasion check, probably. I'll say up to 2 of you. Good roll.
Nice.
So Demi is still happy with the group for their help, so she will send a small contingent of soldiers with Lyra, just in case.
Oh, nice. She gets a whole contingent.
Yeah.
And then I think we need to talk to Orella about the guards to the portal, it sounds like. We've been referred back to her twice on that.
And just comment about time and place.
Yeah, collect melody and arrange time and place with Kalmang.
All right, yeah. I mean, and the Lady
I don't think we need to
Softspire
play
would
now.
be, yeah, she'd be fine with that. So whenever you're ready, just let her know, and she'll have people to help defend the area.
So, are we heading out from here, or are we popping back to Char for supplies, or what's the final decision?
We'll say at this point it's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
I think like tomorrow is like when we want to do it, or maybe the day after. So if there are quick things we want, we have time to get them. But I just like don't know what we want that we could conceivably get on that timeline.
Well, they do have some basic items. If you want to buy from their quartermaster, you can buy book items. As long as it's not too exotic, like food and supplies. These soft spires, I mean.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I can just pass time and have you go tomorrow.
I'm good with that. I think I don't have much in the way of needs for preparation.
Okay.
Just to clarify, I'm not sure. Did everyone give their input on heading to the Shadowfell? I don't know if I've heard a lot from Reed or.
Any opinions, Reed or Terrace, Anna
I
Kate?
say we should go.
Okay.
ASAP.
I'm ready to go when everyone else is. Beryl, can I get some arrows out of the bag of holding?
Of course.
I am going to take 26 arrows.
You've got 26 new arrows then.
Thank you.
And I will subtract 26 as I find them.
Alright, so I will pass the day, because you said you're going tomorrow, right?
Sure.
And so we get a long rest, right? Because I have some stuff that needs to be reversed.
Yeah, so I'll say that you don't have to worry about upkeeps here. The soft spires aren't going to make you pay for anything right now. And there's no taxes or anything here yet, so you can just say you're staying as persons of favor with their group. You would hear rumor that during the evening, Akami, Jazik, and Bakor left Isik. You're not sure where they went, but it seems like the main figureheads of the Izmira just took off.
Uh-oh.
That's too bad. I thought Akami kind of liked this, and that she might be our bridge.
I mean, she might kind of like us, but she's also not going to refuse a direct order from Bakor to ship out, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have had to talk to her earlier in the day. So they're off to do something. Milo, Shiva, Savannah, and Torgar are going into the undercaves. Apparently they already have some assignment, so they might not be able to help with the gate defense. But Arella plans to have a force there to help you tomorrow. So the night is passing. Give me a d20 roll, even though threat is extremely low. Let's see what happens.
Be fun, though.
Oh, wow. All right. D100 roll, please.
Wow.
That's insane.
I rolled a lot of ones this session, guys.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's not too bad. Let's see. So there's a couple of later on in the evening. There's some fights breaking out between the remaining Izmira and Softspire factions. Mostly they're foot soldiers and just like generally the lower rung people in the pecking order. Do you want to be involved in any way, or are you just gonna ignore it?
Are they like violent?
It's more like drunken brawls so far. I mean, you would probably hear about it from some soldiers, and like it sounds like there's a big fight going on somewhere within the tavern.
Man. No, I don't think I'm going to improve things by intervening at all.
Alright.
I'm a little sad. We spent a lot of time picking up clout with the Izmira. We had various favors we could call on as narrative resources granted by word of DM mechanically, but I think we've burned a lot of those now.
Yeah, unfortunately, backing Softspire burned some bridges there.
We go. I will probably go and just observe and make sure no one is like seriously injured, and if they are, I'll like stabilize them or cast healing word or something.
So it's not a deadly fight, but it is a pretty substantial brawl going on.
That's fine. I'm just going to decide if anyone's dumb enough to like fuck with me, I'll like mess with them. You know, I'll like defend myself, but I'm really just I'm gonna put like a like a red cross on my shirt or whatever.
Or you're like, a combat medic.
There's some equivalent of that culturally in this world of like I'm a medic.
Well, I mean, there aren't really medics in bar brawls. There's a bunch of soldiers there trying to like calm things down a bit. Are you gonna go like into the room, or are you more just like staying off to the side?
I will sort of peek in the door. I have my shield, but not my weapon at the ready.
Okay. So I mean, there are some injured people in there, but you're gonna have to get into the thick of it to help them.
Okay, that's fine. I wait in. I'm just like gonna take the dodge action and then like.
Give me. I'll say we'll use athletics for some brawling.
Yeah,
you're a dwarf. You've been in some fights.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. No.
All right.
Oh.
So you get suddenly like hit by a chair. Oh, and you're in the thick of it now. No one else went, right?
Nope.
All right. Give me another athletics check.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh, all right. Apparently you're
all over my face.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just trying to heal, and then like another guy hits you with a chair. Oh, it's that guy. It's the tribe person. Get her. Give me one final athletics check.
I am going to cast Shield of Faith. Just to have it up.
All right. I'll give you advantage on the check if you're using that. 13. All right, so you get a little bit roughed up. Not enough where you get exhaustion or anything, but you definitely got like a black eye and maybe like a big bruise on your back from brawling a bit. You do manage to help some people, so maybe give me a persuasion check with advantage. All right. So yeah, I'll say you make a friend in the Softspire forces who could be an asset to you in the future.
Okay.
If you want to make some kind of social check within ISIC, so you can keep that for like an advantage roll on a social check or something. But yeah, you kind of help out. The peace is restored later on. There's a lot of tension between the factions, but ultimately things calm down. So go ahead and pass the evening. Do a full rest. Nothing else really happens during the evening. And it is now the 71st of autumn at 9 a.m.
So morning, I have like an ice pack on my eye. I'm like,
yeah, you're not feeling very good. You're like, oh, damn it.
Quick question. Does it really dumb question, Sim? Does it need to be nighttime for us to open a portal to the Shadowfell?
I do not believe so.
I think we have to ask the sword that. I don't know.
The sword didn't specify, neither did Teal. Yeah, Tear. Tealam.
Yeah, I'll just consult with the sword and say, it looks like today might be the day that we use your new abilities. Is there anything that you want to tell me? Any warnings or anything before we do this?
The veil is thin within the northern part of the city. That would be ideal for a portal opening.
Okay.
That's all I would really say.
Well.
Yeah, Lady Softspire is ready when you are. She has a small force of sword wraiths, soldiers, and actually a couple of warforged as well. Their alliance.
Cool.
And we collected Melody, of course, as well.
Melody's what? Oh yeah, well Melody's with you, yeah. So Melody joins the party. She is very happy to be going.
Probably less happy about this passel of vampires we've collected.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the vampires are with you too, that's right. I mean, she's okay with it. She's not.
Sorry, remind me who Melody is. I'm looking through the thing.
Doc's
He's
partner.
a priest.
She is Shock's, kind of romantic partner from a long time ago, who has been very unhappy since he disappeared into the Shadowfell and has been trying to get the group to get him back.
We saved Melody from hobgoblins who kidnapped her in the very first session.
Yeah.
What's her deal? Like, what is she?
A priest.
Yeah, she's basically a healer. She was running a shop for the group, I believe, in Char.
Yes, we own a shop for that she runs in Char, and but it's been closed since the 60th of autumn because she's been with us.
Yeah, and they probably would have told you that she initially came to town to try to help with the siege of Char. So she's kind of like definitely a good, kind-hearted person who specializes in medicine and healing. She's also an alchemist, so she can brew potions with her alchemy and herbalism supplies.
Great.
Yeah.
Do I recognize, like, what is her holy symbol?
She, I believe, is Palor. Yeah, she's Palor. Just the normal, or the common human god.
Cool.
Alright, so the group is going to open the portal. The force with
I'm
you...
also updating all of our upkeep to go, like, for the next couple weeks, because who knows how long we're going to be gone. I'm paying it out of our gold. Yeah.
Okay.
But the Char upkeep is coming out of the gold that's at the house, but...
So the force is helping guard the portal. Would ask, is there anything we need to know about opening this portal?
We know very little, but it is to stay open for a few hours, and I believe that anything to come through must literally walk through from other side. So it will have to come through us first, but we will not stay at mouth of portal. So.
All right. Do you want us up front when you open it, or farther behind supporting?
Farther back, probably safer.
All right. So you have them stay back to minimize the chance of deaths in case something comes through, and you're just going to take the brunt of anything that comes through. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything comes through, like, initially, then yeah, we're happy to tank it.
Okay. Fair enough. So you would follow the musings of the sword back to the point where it said the veil was slim, and then you're going to ask it to open a portal? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
As much plan as we've got.
Yep.
Right, give me one moment.
Alright. Hopefully we are not unlucky and or Shadow Strider is not a huge jerk. But we'll find out.
I mean, Shadow Strider is kind of a jerk.
Yeah, but you know.
But more of like a playful, chaotic jerk.
Right. Well, what I'm concerned about is if, like, the most convenient, best portal for us to go through also has something hideous waiting behind it. You know? Seems like the sort of thing that we might run into here.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm having problems finding what I was looking for.
That's not ominous. It's just notes for a grand sweeping narrative describing our first view of the Shadowfell, right? Nothing with a stat block that he needs to look up.
I don't know.
He doesn't know, guys.
We'll just see how bad it is. We'll be fine. Travel the plains, they said. Go to the Shadowfell, they said.
Would you rather be saying? Alright. So... Oh. That's weird.
And while he does that, the ring that you were looking to identify, can you remind me what ring that was?
It was the one we found on the ground near the magma pools where all the fire elementals were hanging out underneath Char.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, regular identify on it, and it was like 404 error file not found.
Yeah, so like, my suspicion is it's just like a ring of non-detection or whatever those other effects are that just resist divinations, because identify is a divination. But like...
And who's carrying it? Because I don't think we recorded it.
I can take it in my bag of holding. Let me make a note of that.
Sorry, if someone spoke, my audio cut out.
Oh, I'll take it in my bag of holding, because I have a bag of holding, and I'm just gonna put, mysterious ring.
Oh, I do have it, unidentified ring. Okay, but I'll put it's in Kachaka's inventory. Okay.
Yeah, why don't you hand it to me, because I took a bag of holding as well as my magic item, so
That's fine.
Nice.
Yep,
plenty of carrying capacity.
sounds good.
One more moment.
And about like waiting, to get our stuff. Like I totally, love like magic items and all that. But I just felt like I don't know. I felt like I was kind of biased, so I didn't want to like be like, yeah.
Oh,
we should
no.
totally play.
Well, our party has had so much turnover that half our party doesn't really have much in the way of magic items, considering our level. And that's why I was hoping to get y'all equipped a little better before we went to the Shadowfell. But I understand in game, like the longer we wait, it's going to change what we find there or don't find or success and stuff,
Yeah. For sure. Well, yeah, and I like I said, definitely want to get like pretty well equipped eventually. But
Well,
in
and
this case,
Yeah. Well, and I have notes in two places that Daniel Kavar went to Highguard, which means he's been gone 9 days, which means the armor of etherealness could be sitting in Char, and nobody could wear that when we first got it, but that's legendary plate, and we now have people who could wear it. So that was kind of part of my reasoning, but
So that totally sounds awesome. I definitely want to check that out. Does anybody know what it does?
yeah,
Cast etherealness once a day or something.
plus
Quick
being
question.
like plus something,
Who is in front?
not barrel.
I can
I
be
think
among the people
Anna
in front.
Kate sort of has
Yeah,
to
probably,
be because she's
yeah.
got the sword, right?
Yeah,
And who else is right up with her?
Me.
And definitely me
I'm a
because I'm
tank.
a frontliner.
All right, that's the front rank then, I guess.
And then I'll come next. I don't want to be in the back.
That's smart. Yeah. Maybe the giant scorpion should be close.
Well, yeah, no. If you guys give her a job, she'll definitely do it. But if you don't give her a job, she's just gonna like.
Alright. So I guess you're gonna do like 3 ranks with 2 people each or something like that.
Where are the vampires in the marching order?
I would assume they're just behind you somewhere.
Okay.
So like Katraka and Terrace in front. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right,
Well, Anna Kate.
Okay.
Anna Kate. How about this? Anna Kate and Terrace front row. Katraka Barrel second row.
The warlock in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And then
Anarchy-
followed up by the
Gotcha.
vampires. So
Alright.
hopefully our warlocks are well sandwiched.
And how many vampires exactly do we have coming with us?
They're bringing all of them, so there's 15.
Nice.
There's Spawn, and there's a bunch of just their own vampires. Alright, so the sword would glow as you approach the area. Glow with a dark miasma, and a darkened portal would come into being. As it does, you see several creatures step forth from it. I need initiative.
Of course.
What?
My favorite thing to roll with my dex dump stat.
Remember, everyone has your temp HP. You should all have 9.
Okay,
What's
I
that
didn't know
from?
that. I will.
What's that?
What is that from?
I'm a Celestial Warlock. Anytime
Yeah.
I complete a rest, I can grab a bunch of people from temp HP.
That's so cool.
It's handy.
Oh, those aren't the greatest initiative rolls I've ever seen.
Apparently all of my maxos appeared from Barrel's token.
Oh man, I'm limited though. I can only cover the party. Can't give Melody any temp HP. Well, it's okay.
Some familiar creatures step through from the darkness.
That thing's creepy.
So the first to act, as these things come forward from the darkness, is the Wraith. So it immediately flies towards you, Anakate, and it is going to attempt to drain your life force.
Well, that's not nice.
Not at all.
How rude.
How rude. Wait, what's going on?
Oh wait, hold on. My AC is. Oh no, that's right. Never mind. It is 18 now.
Yeah.
Alright. Sorry, just double checking something.
And Melody is safe in the background with the vampires, right?
Yeah, I'll say she's in
That
the
sounds
back.
terrible. We're like Melody vampires.
Whatever.
19 versus AC.
Oh, that just hits.
So you are drained for 22 necrotic on a nasty hit, and I need a con saving throw.
Yeah, these guys are real bad.
It's the Bodex. Look away.
15.
That would make it so it is not permanent damage, and you just take 22 necrotic.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
that's
goodness.
22.
That is it for that one. This one is going to fly back here, 40 feet, and go for a read. Oh, these guys are flying, by the way.
Don't forget about this, by the way.
Oh yeah, saving throws.
Yeah, you might
Plus
want to
3
mark
around you?
yourself with aura so they can see that.
How do I, which one should I use?
That's just the token option. You can set it to do auras. It lunges at you, Reed. Oh, double natural 1. You easily jump out of the way, avoiding the attack. This one back here is going to fly around to Barrel and do a life drain for 23 versus AC.
That hits.
Alright, so it flies at you, doing another life. Whoops. Doing 23 necrotic, and I need a con save.
You are also close enough to the paladin though, so get that plus 3 bonus.
Oh, no!
Oh, not enough.
You are life drained, and your max is reduced by 23. Remember, the temp hit points go away first. So
okay.
you actually don't lose 23 because you only lose however much you
Got
actually
it.
lost.
I just hadn't added the temp, and that's why it automatically.
Is
Alright.
that like
I'll do it now.
forever?
That is forever.
Long rest
or
from our
until a long
experience.
rest.
Yeah.
Forever or a long
This
rest.
group
whichever
has
comes
has
first.
fought these guys.
Okay,
before.
gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So this Bodak begins to gurgle as you see a dark field of miasma come off of it. And it is going to...
What's that do?
I think it's going to attack Terrace. With a... What does that do indeed? With its withering gaze. Terrace, I need a con save.
Alrighty.
Uh, 13 would just make it. And it should be set to roll that. So let me just manually roll that. So you would take 13 half to 6 points of necrotic damage as you feel withering energies coming over you. Did they all go before you? No, one of them didn't. Alright, this last one is also going to extend its aura as a bonus action. Whoops. Wrong button. Making out a 30-foot darkened area as necrotic energies pour out over the battlefield.
Is it just like completely dark, or?
No, it's more like a miasma. You can see through it.
Okay.
And then is going to attack. I'll say it goes for Katraka.
Hi.
No.
Hello. Let me change that so it actually rolls instead of. There we go. So Katraka, I need a con save, please. Still says 22. You would make it and take 7 points. Alright, so you would make it and take 7 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, so really that just leaves me with 2 attacks.
And that is it for the creature. Anarchy.
Alright, I seem to recall that's a bad thing to end my turn in this miasma. But I'm going to attack this wraith first before I do anything.
Alright, so unfortunately you would meet the gaze of the Bodax.
Wait. Why would I meet the gaze of the Bodax? I'm not looking at them. I'm attacking the wraith.
Unless you avert your eyes from them. Because generally you're looking all over the battlefield. Do you want to avert your eyes?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought by not attacking them, I would be not looking at them.
Generally you still do have to say it. Because you're
okay.
considered looking all over the battlefield constantly. That's why being behind you, it doesn't necessarily mean bad stuff, or they don't get a bonus. Alright, so you avert your gaze. Go ahead and attack the wraith.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
18.
No, it's 12 because of the disadvantage. Because I'm averting my eyes.
That's just attacking them. You're just averting your gaze from them.
Okay. Alright.
So 19 would strike as you land a solid hit for 9 points of damage for the first hit.
Okay. Unarmed attack.
15 would strike again. Doing another 15 points of damage with another solid hit. Give us your life force. Anything else?
No thanks. I'm going to... Oh, shit.
Hey, I don't see myself on the initiative order anymore.
Was your token highlighted when you rolled?
Maybe not. I'm sorry. I thought it was, but...
Oh, you can go ahead and pull again.
Well, it was a 3, so it's not for a while, but...
I am going to, shoot. Still averting my eyes, but I'm going to run forward to where I know the Bodax to be.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
And just tell Terrace to back away. And I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
Attack this Bodak with
Right.
disadvantage.
So you take a punch with disadvantage. 22.
Oh my!
Still a hit at least.
22
I know,
would strike. Wow.
It hurts.
Yeah, that's almost worse than like it turning it into a natural 1.
Yeah.
So you do 10 points with that first punch.
Second one coming. There we go. Oh,
That would strike as well.
So hard.
still a disadvantage.
The gods taunt you. Doing another 10 points. Wow, the same roll. You've definitely got its attention.
And now I'll spend a key point to patient defense.
Okay, so you take the dodge action.
And I'm still averting my eyes.
That was
Sim.
amazing.
Oh goodness. Well, let's have a fun time. I will move this way and spend my bonus action to pull Reed 5 feet closer to me.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. So Reed is pulled a bit closer. I assume he's not resisting.
Nope.
I guess I will.
Oh wait, do
follow-
I take damage? I'm sorry, Lou. Do I take damage?
Yes, you would take damage from the Aura of Annihilation, which apparently is broken. So you would take. Let's see. Aura does 5 necrotic damage.
And I'm in 2 auras.
They don't stack. It's just 5.
Okay, thanks.
I will follow Anna Kate's lead and avert my eyes from probably incorrectly thinking the portal, but whatever. And cast this fun spell, which I haven't placed in a long time. Where are we at? Boop. Huh? Why did it not cast? I'm having issues.
Is the aura broken or something? Or the macro broken?
I'm just clicking the link straight from my spell list, but it's just not giving me the option to cast it.
Is it asking for the level of the spell?
If it is, I'm not seeing the dialogue pop up, which I have seen in the past.
Could be behind a window, maybe. Otherwise, you could just re-grab the spell. Maybe the spell's broken.
And for the purposes of the death gaze, anybody within 10 feet of me is immune to being frightened.
Oh, there you go.
From my aura of courage.
There you go.
Let go.
Alright, so you send off an aura of sickening radiance. Go ahead and put the aura on yourself.
Man, this thing is huge. Actually, no, it's a ranged cast.
Or no, it's a radius, right?
Yeah, hang on, I've got to pull out the spell effect. It's huge. I don't know if I'm going to put it in the right spot, because that's not quite
One
it.
more to the right, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Whoa.
I mean, if you need to hit me with it, go ahead. They all go before me, so it might.
Alright, anything else?
Nope. Not
Alright.
not in the mood to
Mark
cast.
yourself as concentrating. Terrace.
Okay, he told me to back up. I'm going to purposefully avert my gaze.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to attempt to protect my casters. So here, let's see. I've got 50 feet of movement. And I don't want to start my turn in this aura, right? So,
End, but yeah.
Okay, don't end. Okay. So I'm going to move 5 feet here.
Yep.
And attack this wraith.
Alright, so you swing at the wraith that Anna Kate just punched a bunch. 19 would strike with your first attack.
Alright, and that is
9 points of damage.
plus a d8.
Alright, another
Alright,
1
10.
point of radiant.
And I will, using the mobile feat, move away from him without taking an obby.
Okay.
So So this is, and I can walk through these guys.
Well, it's difficult terrain. Don't you get 2 attacks?
I do.
You don't have to take the second one, but it seems prudent.
Yeah, I do think I want to take it, just to try and protect Anna-Kate. So I will slash again.
That 22 would strike with the second one as well, cutting him for another 12 plus d8. 14. Alright, so it takes another 14 damage and it would look wounded now.
Okay.
And you said you're moving somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of my movement moving 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 right here.
Okay.
And I'll end my turn then.
Katraka.
Alright, I look down at the ground and away from the hideous Bodax, but I move towards them nevertheless. Oops. Going here. Think that'll get the maximum number. And I activate my Spirit Guardians.
Nice.
Level
Okay.
4, I'm upcasting it. I'm gonna give myself an aura. Let's see.
So it doesn't do any damage now, but
It does not, but I want to put the aura on.
yeah. Alright, so you are surrounded by your merry band.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna. If I go one more forward, I can get one more enemy. So
Yeah,
I'll
well,
do
you
that.
can still move. It's still your turn,
Yeah.
right?
It's still my turn. There's nothing I can unfortunately really do with my bonus action because I've already cast a spell this turn. So I'm just gonna, look down at the ground,
Alright.
not look at the Bodax.
So you would take 5 damage at the end of your turn from the necrotic aura.
All right, let me roll my thing.
Was that
Okay.
concentration spell? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's concentration, but that's fine. And
That would
then
make it.
so actually this goes to 0. Goes to my turn, and then I lose 3.
Okay. And we might need to call it here because we're a little bit over. So why don't we do...
Oh, we finished the combat round?
I guess there's only a couple more. Sure. Beryl, what are you going to do?
She'll avert her eyes. I don't know if anyone heard, but for those who maybe didn't know, she did call out, "Oh no, Bodax, don't look," when they first showed up. But you used to have us mark ourselves with a symbol, but I don't remember what symbol we were supposed to use.
I mean, that's okay. You could just let me know at the beginning of the turn.
Okay. Alright. So she's gonna cast a moonbeam, probably level 2. I'll put that out, and then she's going to wild shape.
Okay.
Did that count the spell? Or okay, that did not count the spell, so I'm gonna do that. There we go. Alright, and then why does it say I'm missing a spell? Oh, I didn't do the long rest after the summit. Okay. Anyway, and then she's gonna wild shape into the giant snake because the giant snake has blind sight.
Okay.
So let me drag that out. And that's gonna be her turn. Okay. Took her away too quick. I can't see.
Oh, you can just drag it onto that spot. But the Wraith is going to fly towards Katraka after making a, wisdom save?
Yep, I believe that's right.
For a sim spell. Is it wisdom or con?
It's... I believe it's Constitution. Hang on just a minute.
Oh, I thought you meant Spirit Guardians.
No, well, first...
Yeah, it's a Constitution save. DC 16.
Okay. So it would make that one, taking no damage. Then it makes a wisdom save. Yeah, from what I remember, that spell is all or nothing from the big one. It would fail your save, Katraka. So what does it take?
4d8. Let me get that for you.
All right,
23
Nice.
radiant.
Is seared by your merry band as it angrily flies towards you and attempts to life drain you. 24 versus AC.
Yeah, it does hit.
25 necrotic damage.
Yeah. That's real not good. All right.
And I need a first concentration.
First break or constitution. Wait, okay. So first one will be to resist the life drain.
Okay. Ooh, so you're back at full. That's the good news. And
now concentration. I do make the concentration. No, that's actually more important. All right, and then how do I indicate like a decrease in my max?
I mean, I usually just put it in your notes somewhere, just so you remember the max number, and just change your.
So max goes down by 25.
Yeah. So yeah, just put like whatever
And
the
don't
max.
forget your temp.
I don't think she had any temp because she already took a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's fine. I can't change the. I don't know how to change the out of 82 thing though. But I know it's not it.
Well, on your sheet, let's see.
Oh, I see. Just change the 82 to okay.
Yeah, you can change that one. The max number. All right,
Okay.
Reed, what are you gonna do?
It's not great.
I'm gonna cast Synaptic Static.
All right.
Right there.
That's an int save.
Yeah.
I'll be saving for this.
Alright, so the Wraith will start. 16.
Nope.
So it takes 26 psychic.
A lot of auras.
Bodak. Would fail and take 26 psychic. And the other Bodak would fail and take 26, and it's looking pretty wounded at this point.
That's it for me.
Alright, so now we can do MVP votes. And we'll end it here. So it looks like, wait, who am I missing? I only got 5 votes.
Oh, what's the command again?
/W space GM space who you're voting for. So Barrel, 3 votes, you are MVP.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Sorry, I
Congrats.
missed no barrel.
Good job,
Sorry, what?
everyone.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done.
See you guys next
Thanks,
week.
Lou.
Yeah, see
Yeah,
you all
thanks for
next
game.
Good
time.
night.
Guys.
Oh,
See you guys.
See ya.
Anyway.
Are you still there?
Yep, I'm just taking notes.
Would you allow me to gift that inspiration to someone else? I know you don't normally allow it, but Farrell is at 10. And I didn't realize it when they first voted for me, or I would have said something quicker.
Usually if you have a tie, you can give it to the other person. Let me see. I mean,
He's been hoarding them.
Second place was Sim, so sure, you can give it to Sim. Is Sim still here?
No, he might. He dropped out of chat, but
You can
I
let him
can.
know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
that's fine.
I'll try and remember to use at least one each session so that she's not like maxed like that. I have been intentionally saving them, but I also I didn't intend to stay maxed and I forgot to use some like this session.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, have a good night.
Yeah, you too.